Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Legion Lads. I am host JR. Today we got Jose and a rare sighting of Roman. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Spring break. Woo! I'm
This
only
Hey.
is
working.
fine. Everything is fine. Perfectly normal here.
Yeah, so AMG have finally released all of the information.
The long
The
awaited.
long away rest of 2.6 is no longer 2.6. It is now known as Legion. So today, guys, for you, we're going to go over the changes. We're going to go over what we think of them. And as you know, last time at Adepticon, we gave a letter grade. So this time, we're going to complete that letter grade and overall give what we feel about it. Roman, I know you weren't here with us last time because school keep taking you away from us.
I know, man. Waking up at 6 in the morning,
Oh,
not fun.
no, sounds brutal. So I would like for you to give me a letter grade of before these changes, like the Adepticon, and then after them, because we really didn't get your information on like, did you like custom commanders? Like, whatever thing you think about that.
Right. I've had this conversation with a few people. I didn't get a chance to look at it. Even the new update, look at it with my own eyes on everything, just what everyone's been talking about, sharing. Just because I haven't been playing, I've been so busy. It's just been one of those like, don't even look at it kind of things.
Mm.
I'll get to the laundry when I'm out of clean clothes and have gone front, back, inside out, front, back again. Then I'll deal with it, right? Um, so going off of what everybody said beforehand, I was still hopeful, right? The custom commanders, I didn't care. Like, I'm like, cool, more options on the generic side of it. I just figured they were gonna be like generic guys plus. I think we had this conversation where I'm like, I don't understand why the CIS and Republic got what they did. Like the
Mm.
generic Jedi was a little weird, especially because you are don't you already get a generic Jedi commander in the ARFs?
You do in the sense that you could take a Jedi like a generic in the ARFs,
Oh,
but
but it's
you
not an
don't.
actual commander.
No,
Okay.
no.
See, what I felt they should have done is made that kind of like the upgrade slash generic commander and had the all these like generic commander and operative ones been like what the generic guys were plus, right?
Mm.
So maybe the CIS one was a little weird with the operative. Same thing with Republic actually a little bit where it's like the CIS should have gotten a customizable tac droid instead of a super tech, I feel like would have made more sense. And then maybe like a bounty hunter as the operative, right? Like a generic Cad Bane almost, like
Mm.
not as good or whatever. Same thing with the Republic. I feel like they should have gotten a customizable clone commander, like the generic guy. And again, like to me, when I say customizable, it's like you can lean them to be more handout aims or a little bit more to direct vehicles or kind of suit it to your list a bit, but nothing too crazy. And I got a feeling that's kind of what they're going to be in general. But for them to get a Jedi commander and operative is a little crazy. Um,
I
all
think it's gonna be fun. I'm
I
excited.
know. I just feel like it should have been a cool, customizable clone commander, and then the
Mm.
operative. It would have been cool to have like a spy, kind of like a customizable pad bay almost, right?
Imperial should have got. I'm just kind of throwing it because I really want like a Sith. Imperial should have got like make your own Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. If
that'd be
if
sick.
the Republic, yeah, exactly. It should have been that either as an operative or I don't even want to say generic bounty hunter because the bounty hunter I feel like as an operative is just not really worth it.
Mm.
I don't want to get too sidetracked on what I want to see, but yeah, I was a little hopeful in the sense of that. I'm like, it's not gonna be as crazy as people think it is. It's just gonna be okay. Like it's just gonna be another option for your generic low cost dudes. Just like the clone commander was before, just like the Imperial officer was. Like it's just not it's gonna be that, but you can kind of spec it a little bit to what your list want to be, which would have been fine. It would have filled a role. I was a little more hopeful, just hoping again, the way that they built it up, the way that they were talking about is like this is gonna be the rest of the game. I figured like they would have like fleshed out a lot of the game mechanics. The factions, I really didn't know what to expect because they said no points updates, really, right? From the
Yeah.
get-go, they
So
said,
yeah, before we get into that, yeah, I was gonna ask, do you have a letter grade of everything you heard at Adepticon? Like, if you had, I know you just said that you didn't like
yeah.
dive
So
into
from
it.
what I heard, I would have given it a solid C plus. Like it passes.
Okay.
It passes. It
Okay.
gets me through until the next one, right? But it's
Yeah.
like I can't take a D or lower to my parents the next go around kind of thing, right? Like
I'm curious what everybody else is gonna give it because I gave it an A minus. Jose, what did you give it?
A C.
You gave it a C. So
Passable, right?
I would have gave it lower had I known Nick was gonna go lower. I thought Nick was gonna be like the
no, no,
shining
no. You
star.
can't. You can't do that. You can't give
Oh,
your letter grade based off another person's opinion. Only I want yours. You know what I mean?
it
Right.
was a C.
But so we're gonna go over everything that they talked about. Kind of,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that they did say that people are catching in the new rules update, right? Some command cards change. One notable is Annihilation Looms. It now
Yeah.
only affects on the battlefield, not anything that's off the battlefield that hasn't deployed yet. I think that's a nice change. Some people hate it. It is a nerf to the card because yeah, that was a cool first move when you could do it. But all right, boys, let's go into this. So, first thing first is that it is no longer known as 2.6. They said this is now Legion. No more numbers, no more nothing. This is starting the fresh start of our rest of the time playing Legion.
So they're not giving it the number designation like on the file.
Hmm.
It doesn't say. That is weird. They shouldn't have
Well,
done that.
yeah, yeah. I feel like
He's
these.
Will the Wills said it's no longer 2.6, it's not 3.0, it is straight up just
This
called
is what Legion is.
Legion.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that because it shows you that they're incrementally improving it, right? That's the whole point of the point system, right? Like the point 0.6, point 0.7, point 0.8. Like you can
Yeah.
make increments until there's a big. So this is going to be 3.0 in nomenclature. Like it's going to be what people refer to as 3.0 on top of like just Legion. Because whenever they come out with an update, that'll be like 3.1, 3.2, 3 point whatever, or it should.
I'm looking right now. I'm downloading the core book just to see because that's what they said. But you're
I know.
right, bro. They
And,
have to
and
give us some kind of thing,
and
right?
also they say a lot of stuff while meaning another thing.
Yeah, yeah. Which we'll get into that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the core book it doesn't have a version anymore. So
Weird.
that is interesting. But yeah, so that's one thing to know. That was like at the very beginning, but we'll go into the rest of it. One of the things is that they changed at, within, and beyond. It is now known as within, completely within, and not within. Pretty much meaning when it says within, you could be at. When it says
At
completely within,
or completely with okay. Yeah.
yeah. So when it says completely within, that means that it
A
has to
portion of
all
a mini.
no, all of it has to be within the
Oh
range
yeah,
band.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When it says not within, obviously that means you can't be in that range band, right?
So
What do you guys
if it's not within, that means you can't even be at, right?
correct? You can't even be
Okay.
within. Within, yeah.
Yeah, within. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I like it personally. I like this change because it was confusing a lot of people. And I know when I first got into Legion, at and within always kind of confused me a little bit, right? With a lot of people because of how
Well,
you do
all they
interpret
had
it.
to have say, all they had to say was at and within are interchangeable, and then just
Mhm.
add completely within,
Right.
because the not within doesn't. It's already not at, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's fine. It's a little semantics, but who cares, right? Some people do like to argue the point, this and that, and it just slows games down. So we'll just again leave it at completely within, not even within.
Yeah, which is honestly, it's just cool because like I was scared for
Streamline it,
all
yeah.
my Grievous was within. I was like, whoa, and yeah. So and this was the rumor mill, and they finally said like, yeah, that's the new thing. Which Jose, what do you think about the change?
I like it. I like it. I feel like they could have not. I feel like the at within and beyond could have stayed the same, just change the definitions. I mean, because I mean
Yeah,
that's all it
just
really
make it
was.
at and within kind of the same, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it was. But I
Although
mean,
they're like, well, what's completely at?
I know. I don't know. It's easy to it's their whole point of Legion now is streamlining, and so from that aspect, this is a welcome change
Yeah,
because there were some things where it's like the old Anakin card. I have to be wholly within. What does that mean? Oh, you got to jam all your six miniatures around Anakin Skywalker, and they all have to be completely inside. And it's like I can't do that.
yeah, it's
That's a
horrible.
bit much. Yeah,
Horrible. Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah, it's just streamlining.
What's
It is
funny is
for
that
what is good.
Anakin card, the 501st one, it said within when they came out with it, right? Which means that they probably were going to change the definition of it. But then they came out with 2.6 with it saying at. And so it's like, are they going to revert back to within? Which I haven't checked the card, so it probably does say within to complete that, cycle.
Mm.
But yeah. Moving on, my favorite change of this is area terrain.
I don't know how to feel about this.
So area terrain now is a line of sight blocking piece. And if you're inside it, you can see out of it and you get the cover of the area terrain. If you're, and then people that can see you in the area terrain. But if it's between both of you guys, it blocks LOS.
It makes sense for certain things when you're playing like tall grass, stuff like that. I get it. You know
Mhm.
there's stuff on the other side, but you can't see it. I've
Craters.
I've kind of yeah, craters, I guess.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be an
that's so
issue.
weird. Yeah, especially because of silhouette, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't know. That's a weird one.
They
Yeah.
they they don't have
Well,
an established height. So like
well,
if you
no,
have like a what?
they did say area terrain still has a silhouette, right? So if the tree's very tall, that's how high the silhouette will go. If there's no like a crater, if there's no trees or anything, then there's no silhouette, right?
Well, I guess it's just gonna be more of talking this beforehand. I mean,
Right.
which
So
you
then
should already be doing.
how is that gonna work? Like if a crater has no silhouette, it's still area terrain. How do you figure like it's just cover at that point?
Yeah,
Like a
Yeah.
yeah,
barricade?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll basically whatever you gave it, right? Hey, we're in this crater. We said it's gonna be whatever, difficult, heavy, or whatnot. Which, yeah, it'll be whatever you discussed beforehand. It,
Hmm.
it makes sense when you think about it. Like I was saying earlier, like just treat this like it's tall grass. If you say it is blocking and it has a height, then this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just again be a little bit more clarification, which is harder with new players, right? Already they're kind of banking on the more experienced person to be like, all right, I'm following your lead, and if the person's going doesn't think of explaining every piece of terrain because you can't all the time, right? Like you're in a hurry to figure out the mission, this and that, and then halfway through the game, you're like, "Well, I thought this was this. I was going off your lead." I'm like, "Well, we didn't discuss it." All right, well, now I want it to be beneficial to me because I've been playing it this way. So it's you just
Mhm.
got to stress that a little bit more.
It's a new
It's
skill to acquire, right? It's a new skill
well,
that you have to practice
It's a habit,
because,
yeah, a habit you got to
yeah,
form. It's like getting
hmm,
not
suppression. That's
yeah,
one of the hardest things when you're first playing. It's like, oh yeah, throw the suppression on there.
well, not even just that. The cool thing is like because what I like about it is because now it's line of sight blocking. Like there's now tables are gonna have way more LOS than it actually appears.
Right,
which,
because that was an
yeah,
issue, like the LVO tables, like what Rob was having, where it's like there's not enough line of sight blocking. I'm like,
mhm.
I agree on some cases, yeah. Some should have a lot, some shouldn't. There should be a diversity of it. But when you have tables that just don't have big enough pieces, it's easier to just throw a little neoprene mat or a
Yes,
crater and be like,
yes.
this is it.
And I got a bunch of area terrain pieces, and so I'm just like, oh, this is perfect because I in my tables I lack LOS, and now I can make up the LOS this way. Do you guys like this change?
I think it's fine. It C passes.
Yeah.
And environmental gear on everything.
Well,
I am not gonna slow.
you don't have to make area terrain difficult, right?
No, well, see,
Yeah.
here's that every conversation I've ever came into with area terrain, all my opponents are like difficult, area
Yeah. It
difficult.
should be. It
Difficult,
should, in
So
my
difficult.
opinion, it should always
so
be.
Because you need an
my
obstacle. You can't have a giant piece of line of
no
sight
no
blocking
I
terrain.
get
That's not,
I,
yeah, no, I agree.
1000% I get that. What the reason I say environmental gear for me on everything is because
So you can move
now
through it. Yeah.
I'm not slowing down. I'm jumping into it, and now I
Yeah.
can see
And
you.
you don't have to climb. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
like I've always been a fan of environmental gear, even from my old Legion
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So they're changing command cards. So one of two rules is that um, a good example is Kalani and Kraken can use the same command card. So at the bottom it will say Kalani or Kraken.
Yeah, it was
Um,
exclusive.
yeah, to those two units.
I didn't like I didn't like that. Were you able beforehand? You weren't able to take a super tack and then one of the named ones, right? Because remember,
No.
no,
Yeah.
right? It was just one super tack.
Yeah.
Thematically it makes sense, right? You have one leading all of it. I get that. It's just a little weird. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, can you take both of them now?
I don't know. They haven't changed this as far as I know. You probably can't.
No,
Um,
the difference
well, because
was
even super. Oh, go ahead.
you're able to take the super tack command cards with Kalani and
Yeah,
Kraken because the
but
designation was super tack. The Kalani and Kraken was just a special name.
yeah,
Now Kalani is Kalani, Kraken is Kraken, so you can't cross use their cards from what I remember.
Wait. Well,
before, yeah. But JR is saying that now you can, right? They go back and
yeah.
forth on the command cards, which I don't think
Well,
makes
no,
sense.
what I'm saying is, can I bring Kraken and Kalani in the same list?
Yes, because they're not unique anymore. They're characters.
Well, they're still unique, right? And they're
Yeah, because they
No,
always
numerated
the
had.
unique
in
the
the sense
Well,
dots
of the
they always
name.
had the little. They always had that little
Well,
slash
Dot.
on them.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying is the old card would say super tactical droid and then a dot Kalani. That's not there anymore.
The
Now
dot's
it's
still
just
there. The dot's on Kalani and Kraken. Um,
Yes, they're not super tax though. They're characters.
they
They're
are
you can
super
take
tac.
them both.
Underneath it says super tac droid.
Yeah,
So
you
Yeah,
can.
see, they had to that had to be a forum ruling then to figure that out.
yeah,
I'll tell you
cause
right
like
now.
Delta Squad is it says Clone Commander on Delta Squad, but
Low
underneath
commandos,
this is
yeah.
Delta Squad and it has a dot, so you can't take multiple, right?
You can't take
Uh,
multiple clone
Del
commandos in general? Or
no Delta Squads. You
okay,
can't.
that makes
Yeah,
more
yeah,
sense. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa, hold on a sec, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And because another thing is like
So
the T series. I don't know. Well, you're looking up, Jose. You're looking up because
I'm
you can
doing it
take two
right
T
now.
series
Okay,
right
no,
now.
no. So you can Legion HQ is updated. So I have Kalani and Kraken as my commanders with three B1s, and have
That's
no
wild.
emergency symbol.
That's wild. That'd be
Uh,
interesting.
But like when I take off the B1s and just leave Kalani and Kraken, and the emergency symbol pops up, it says list errors, not enough corpse units. It's not it. So you
I guess that makes sense, right? Because if the super tech droid is going to be a customizable thing now, I could technically have a operative super tech droid and a generic super tech droid, right?
Yeah,
Theoretically.
yeah.
So like,
I don't know. It's weird. We're entering a weird phase,
yeah,
especially
we
because
are.
everything's so new. So even like the list builder, it might not have all the
So
stuff right.
they
Mhm.
did change it. So from what it looks like on here, the new Kalani card, the old Kalani cards, so do not underestimate our means and they too will suffer, used to be super tactical droid only. Now they say Kalani or Kraken at the top and bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I
Uh,
don't know. I don't like it when they're like going back and forth. Like this character can use it because they're supposed to be, even though they're both super tech droids, they are different characters. So it'd be like the Inquisitors. Like there's cards that both of them can use, but then there's ones that only one or the other can use. So I wish they would have kept it that way, where it's like, yeah, you're gonna get a little bit more flavor playing these guys versus these guys. I don't know.
yeah. Well, and now I'm just started thinking like the wheels in my head are turning. It's like I'm gonna make a list with Kalani and Kraken, and then bring two super tech droids that are operatives, and just have an army of
Jesus,
super tech droids.
that's wild.
We'll see what happens though. But what's also important is that all command cards are gonna have the names at the bottom, so you know who they're used for. So like Ahsoka Tano, it'll say Fulcrum for the Rebel one, and then whatever the other one's called for the Gar. Um, they're also going to introduce command cards that are going to have and. So if it says Ahsoka Tano and Sabine, you have to bring both of those characters to use that command card.
Kind of like the old Chewy cards.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, which I guess
His
makes sense,
cards
right?
needed a rework. Those cards are
Yeah.
terrible.
Uh, I like
Chewies?
the
OG Chewies?
Notorious Scoundrels. I like that card. That's a really good card.
But I'm saying, like in general, like all his cards were not great.
And they're not great in the sense that like they're only specific to like one character, right? So you only get one command card unless you're running multiple characters like
Not
Luke
just that,
and
but you also
Han.
have to bring like these other guys.
Yeah, that's
So it's
Yeah,
tough.
like,
yeah, yeah. Which who knows, maybe something in the future. Another one that kind of sucks is the command cards. Like I had mentioned before, are gonna say the bottom. So they reference that serve. Oh, I am a Jedi, and serve your master well are only gonna be exclusive to OP Luke, operative Luke. So you can't use them with the commander Luke anymore. And that's because they said when they were running Tauntaun Luke, I am a Jedi was too strong, which honestly, it kind of makes sense. What do you guys think about that?
the problem is they have information we don't. So all we can speculate is on what we have, right? Which
Right.
sucks if you're wanting to run Commander Luke. And they're probably right. Like Tauntaun Luke's with all the cards is probably broken. So just make it where he can't take it. Like
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Well,
know.
I
Like
mean, just like you said, they're working on information that we don't have, which kind of leaves us in the dark. But it's a quick fix if they just put an operative Luke, so that way Tauntaun Luke, because I'm assuming Tauntaun Luke is going to have command cards that Commander Luke and operative Luke can't take, right?
right, right. It's
So
just weird because like it makes sense. Commander Vader can take all the Op Vader stuff because it's a older, more like experienced version of them. But then if it's the same argument, like would Op Vader not be able to take Commander Vader's cards now? Like,
yeah, yeah,
see,
that
I don't
that'd be
know. It's
interesting.
weird. Yeah, we'll see. Like some of them, it does make sense, right? Op and Commander Luke are completely different characters. Uh, You said Ahsoka. Those are completely decades, literally decades apart. I get that, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what what
Yeah, yeah,
information comes out. It's just hard being in the dark because all we can do is speculate, and you know how it is. You know the
yeah.
speculation's dark, man. It always goes to the worst case scenario.
Which I'm going to bring up now is that there's two things. We are correct in that Shadow Collective Mall's promo was incorrect. Thank God. That was like my
You're
biggest
welcome.
relief. And then um Operative Vader still only has 5 red dice. That's a mistake that it says 6 red dice, which is kind of a bummer, but I mean, it makes sense that it's just for the promo aspect
After
of
the stuff they pulled, jumping ahead, they should have gave him that 6 red. It's the least they
Dude.
could have did.
Well, it sucks too because the promos that are coming in then are going to be bad because they can't change. They're coming out on the second. Like they're a couple of weeks away. Like they're not going to change that mall promo or anything like that.
You know, it's interesting. Yeah, you're right, right? I'm hoping that's just a typo on the computer end, like, when they did the
Their
PowerPoint.
digital rendering.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you know they're printed that way.
It's AMG.
What's
Yeah,
interesting too is that I'm looking at Maul's command cards for Shadow Collective Maul in particular. So his CIS command cards say Maul underneath it, but then his Shadow Collective one says Maul a rival. So it's just like it makes sense for the Maul rival to use only the Shadow Collective one, but it's just interesting that you could still use Maul's CIS for Shadow Collective. It makes sense, but it's just like, well,
well, and they included him in the kit too, right? They're like, here, you have
yeah,
access to all
yeah,
this.
yeah, which yeah makes sense.
It's
It's just
weird, yeah.
yeah, it's a little weird to see a rival and you're just like, wait, are there two different models? I don't know. There are two different models, but anyways, moving on. Movement, strafing and reverse are now a standard move, so you could pivot and you get agile and all that stuff. How do you like that, Jose? We think that's a good change?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a my whole thing about the like specialty rules when it came to like strafing is like strafing people I don't from people used to do it wrong. So strafing was the same, you had to speed down when you were strafing. um because it was a specialty, I guess a specialty move, same as like a reverse. Now that stuff like that's like once again it's streamlined now, so it's not so much a mistake anymore because like I remember making that mistake. Have you seen a Saber freaking tank speed 2 dash to the left dash to the right? It's obnoxious.
It's crazy,
Mm,
yeah.
it is.
And then you realize like, this is too good. Maybe I'm doing this wrong because it completely gets rid of the reason to pivot. But no, I like it. Less restrictions. You know me, I'm the vehicle guy. Less restrictions on vehicles, the better. Just give me a notch base for the sides of my gav and let me skeet skeet with my gav and I'm
But
good.
that's not what the Gav does, though.
No, I want it to though.
I know, but that's not what those shredded tanks do.
I want them to go sideways. No, I
Yeah,
like it. I'm here for it.
yeah, I think it's a nice change. It makes sense. Um, Well, you're the vehicle guy, Jose. So they have ruled that arms and legs no longer count for LOS. Now, this is confusing for 2 points. Number one, did not make sense in their, streaming. When they were talking about it, I was like, what?
Yeah, they said something they didn't mean.
Yeah, yeah. In the rules, like I'm with Nick when he's talking about in the chat, in the rules, it made sense. And to clarify, what it means is that um like the feet, particularly the crab droid, can go off the base. That part of it does not block line of sight.
It's just your that's basically the
Your
silhouette from your
silhouette,
base,
yeah.
nothing that sticks out.
That
Yeah, and
makes sense.
like
Yeah,
I
it
told
does make
people in the
sense.
chat, it was just some players were getting cute, they were getting cheeky, and people noticed, and AMG's like, yeah, we got to fix this. So they addressed it that way. So now it's no longer, you can no longer get cute with it.
Well, and then like some people were modeling like the
For
aqua
advantage,
droids,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
arms
yeah,
up.
that's just
Yeah,
being that's my point, being cute with it.
yeah, yeah. Which is hella confusing because
You
they're
could do
just
that
like,
with the
yeah, arms
Decas.
and legs no longer count to block LOS. Like what? Wait, what?
That's
So
a
yeah,
wild thing to say, yeah.
it is. It was very wild. It's like
It
okay,
made me think my aqua wall disintegrated. I was
yeah,
like,
I
wait,
thought the same
what?
And
thing. I was like,
I'm like, my ATS is just a floating head, dude.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
You
like,
only
what's
line of
going
sight
on?
block whatever's on a building behind it.
Yeah,
It'd be funny if,
exactly.
if you had a piece of terrain that had like a big old block up in the air and it had stands, but you could see the ATSC's legs. You're like, oh, I guess it's not there.
That's wild, yeah. So no,
Um,
it's just one of those things they said, but they didn't say what they meant. Like,
yeah, yeah. It wasn't clear, at least. It wasn't clear, at
yeah.
least. Some keyword changes. Cache works even if the miniature is defeated.
Oh,
I thought
So
interesting.
it's been that
yeah,
way.
no,
It says it on the card. It literally says it on the card. It
mm,
says it on the card. I
I
will
don't
pull
know.
that up right now. Yep, it says
Uh,
it on the card.
okay, well, you pull that up.
I will. I will. I
I'm
will.
self-destruct is no longer an attack. So what it does is if you are half your health at
So
good.
real quick, Black Sun Enforcer, not updated. Literally says not updated from Legion HQ. Add one Black Sun Enforcer mini. You gain Cache Dodge 1. On the very bottom, it says you have this keyword even when this mini is defeated. The
Okay.
keyword is
The
Cache Dodge 1.
okay, the
Okay.
mini. I thought you said unit. That's why I was
Oh
like,
no, no, my
dude,
bad.
how does it work when a unit's
Yeah,
gone?
my
Yeah,
bad.
no,
I
it's
meant
always
mini. I meant mini. Yeah,
I'm
make
gonna use
it's
sure.
their
always
dodge. I'm using
Yeah.
no,
their.
it's
They
always
don't
It's
been
laying
split
like
on the
them.
that.
ground. It's right there.
It's always been like that. I just think maybe there's some some confusion with newer players, but it's always been like that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense. So, like, if you're, like you said, if you're a newer player or less experienced, or just want to make the argument, it's like, well, you can't use a heavy gun when you kill the mini. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, dude, but the card says it.
Yeah. Well, especially Bad Batch. I think this change might have been for Bad Batch because on Bad Batch, as I'm looking at it right now, does not say that what Jose was saying. So since you get to allocate wounds to whatever you want, you could technically kill Tech and then be like, oh, I guess I don't get cache aim one or dodge.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the
Yeah,
cache
yeah,
keywords there. Yeah, that's a fix for
yeah.
them then. Because the
Yeah.
Black Sun and Pikes have that on it
On
says
them.
it on there.
Mhm.
And I'd be crazily
Well,
shocked if the Weequay Pirates drop and they have a cache something and it doesn't have that on there.
it won't say it because you got to remember also when the all that Shadow Collective stuff came out was the first time we were seeing a lot of those. So remember, on the first time they usually show you everything that it
Mhm.
does. Bad Batch came out over a year later, right? So like you should know this by now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, which
the
makes
helpless
sense.
text.
Yeah, self-destruct again is if you are half your health gone, you can choose to blow up. And what you do is you roll X amount of dice depending on what your self-destruct is. So like if it's self-destruct 3, you roll 3 blacks. And I believe for every hit or crit, they take a wound. And then they get a suppression depending on the hit or crit as well. I like that. That's a nice change
So you just give up the
It didn't
rest of
get
your wounds to
to
blow up.
blow up.
it
Yeah.
it didn't
Is that
give
an
suppression
action or is that
before?
reactive?
Depending on the unit, I believe it's a free action on the 2 units.
So
Well,
you still got to survive.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You still gotta survive. And I believe it's still, I'm gonna double check right now, but on the spiders, it's was
I'm
always a
double
free
checking
action.
already.
Yeah.
Um, it didn't always do suppression because isn't that an attack?
So it was a separate attack that gave suppression. Now it's just an automatic roll three
It's
black. So
yeah, because on the
yeah,
spiders it's saying it's a free
free
action
action. Yeah,
icon.
so it's free and you roll 3 blacks. If something has self-destruct 5, you would roll 5 blacks. And depending on the hits there, that's how many wounds you would allocate to everybody. I don't know if I think you do a roll for each unit that gets hit by this.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's everybody's AoE.
yeah, which is a nice change, I think. Um, well, do you like that, Jose?
I've never used spiders or anything that can self-destruct, so I can't say if I
And
mean
the
free attack an attack's always good. I mean I'm all for throwing dice. I mean if I'm about to go out and I can you give me a chance to pick up like more than two three models, like I'm gonna enjoy
can
that.
you do that after you attack? Like, can you
Yeah,
attack and then be
yeah,
like,
Yep,
bam, I'm
yeah.
blowing up?
yep.
Can
And
the IG droid self-destruct?
the IG
Uh,
droids.
maybe I want to say
I think it
it's
was with a
maybe
command card,
the
right?
rebel one. Let me see.
The
Yeah, yeah.
IG-11,
Oh, IG. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're right.
which is dumb.
Uh,
All the IG droids should have that.
they
It's like, it
should.
cannot be captured alive.
Yeah, so IG-11 doesn't have it on his character. Let me
Yeah, I don't
see.
think either of them had on their character. I'd remember
No.
that because I'd be like, why would I? Oh my
IG-11
god,
gains gunslinger.
I think it's no because the self-destruct one is like a special like
it's a command card, right?
oh
Oh
yeah,
no, so it
yeah.
says so
Self-destruct 4.
IG-11 anti-capture protocols when building command hand card must be included. Oh,
You
this card must
have
be
to
included.
You
include
That's
it.
have to,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Garbo.
This round, IG-11 gains self-destruct 4 and
And it's
must
just for
make
the
a
round.
self-destruct action during the activation if able. So you
Garbo.
have to blow. You are blowing up.
Trash.
Yeah.
Garbage. Never. I'm glad I'm not a
You
rebel player.
you need
Ugh.
this card. You will take this card and you will die once you use it.
And then what's funny is like he has 5 health, so you need 3 health to blow this card up because it rounds up for whatever
Yeah,
half the damage is, half the health is. Uh, I mean, I still like it. Roman, you like the new self destruct?
it's fine. I don't play anything that does it, so I'm ambivalent. It's fine.
Oh, what if
Uh,
the new was it those new Empire droids have self-destruct, right?
they are gonna
Oh, the
have,
Maybe.
probe
yeah,
droids.
they are
Oh,
Yeah.
gonna
see,
have it. Yeah,
you'll care then.
yeah,
I'll care
Suicide
then.
bomb
Yeah.
yeah.
droids.
Dude, they look cool. Viper droids have always looked cool. I'm
Mhm.
just so interested to
The
see what they
probe
look
droids.
like on the field. Yeah. Well, the probe Viper droids or Viper probe droids, I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these ones are going to be bigger than the droids we have right now, than the regular Vipers.
I
There's no
don't think
Viper.
those are vipers. I think they're just
The
No.
vi-
the mall ones.
yeah, no, those
Oh,
no
you
no
mean the ones that
the
have
what
observe?
yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are
yeah,
little Viper droids. It says Viper droid on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It does, it does.
So
For the CIS, the CIS
the
one,
probe droids are bigger than those.
Yeah, but they were
way
called probe
bigger.
Viper droids, I remember. Yeah, because they're on the SWU cards, I think.
Well, I hope they have like self-destruct 5. I think that'd be cool. That'd
Oh
be
They
my
sick.
can just
gosh.
bum rush into people.
Yeah, yeah. That's their whole thing. Just go boom. That'd be
Yeah,
so cool.
Viper recon droid for CIS.
Yeah. Um, Airspeeder's harpoon gun now immobilizes vehicles. So
Interesting.
if you shoot and you damage a speeder, you get to now immobilize it. I like that change.
Does it still turn them or
Nope,
no?
nope. It just gives an immobilize token.
That's not that great.
What do you mean that's not that great? When has anybody shot a harpoon gun and pivoted a vehicle?
No, no, but that's way more beneficial. I harpoon you, I turn you, now you have to waste an action to
That's
turn.
no.
Hold on. You waste one action to turn back, or you waste an action for the rest of the game. Because that's what Immobilize does, right?
No, it's
Yeah,
until that
immobilize.
unit activates. Once you
Yeah,
activate, immobilize comes off.
no.
Oh,
When
no, you're
immobilize, when you
thinking
activate, you
Ion.
lose an action.
No,
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 no.
no. That it's moving.
And
Yeah,
when
it's
you are
moving.
immobilized, after your next activation, it comes off. It's not all game.
Oh, I'm thinking breaking it down. I was like,
Yeah,
No,
fuck, that's
no,
yeah,
wild. If you can
yeah.
harpoon a
No,
unit and just
no,
break it,
no,
hell yeah.
no.
Fuck.
No, you're right.
no.
You're right.
I
Immobilizing is the moving one. You're right. You
because
have to reduce your speed by 1 when you get mobilized.
how many vehicles like don't want to like how many vehicles want to move when they're set? Like an
Can
ATST set doesn't want to move.
can you
And
can you
a guard tank set doesn't want to move.
can you
No,
pivot if
no,
you're immobilized down to 0 speed?
Yeah, you can still pivot. Yeah.
Okay.
I think in 2.6 or Legion, as they would say, uh
3.0.
I think you do want to move now. I think most vehicles want to move, right? Once you get
Yeah, to get
planted,
objectives, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
then
that's
it's
my
different.
point. Like, it's not
But
difficult for an ATST or a GLAT or a GAV to get set turn one. Their bases are so big, they're just there. You're there.
Yeah, but
I
see
can see it.
the thing is
I can
is
see it
that
being good if you use it in a, like if you use that harpoon gun with ordnance, then yeah, that's more deadly because now they can't run from the bomb.
well, even then, like it's still a better change because now all vehicles get a free pivot. So like if you turned it, you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna use my free pivot to turn back, right?
Yeah.
So
I see
Hmm.
it being good in, like you said, with the new meta where it's like you have objectives you want to get to, stuff like that. And then air speeders can get up there fast too. They're super
yeah,
fast.
yeah,
So if they position it out, like if they position their vehicle wrong, you can just be like,
yeah,
that being said, you stop the hit, right? And it's from the rear arc still?
yeah. Still from the rear arc, still
Yeah,
from the rear arc.
nah.
Yeah,
Booty.
Wait and you have to take
it's
the
free though.
airspeeder.
It's free.
You have
Okay,
to pay the
okay,
Yeah.
airspeeder
okay.
tax. Nobody. When's the last time you've seen an airspeeder? That Nick ain't running.
I was about to say Nick. I think
um,
Daniel had one at one point too.
they removed some keywords. Uh, contingency, flawed, and loadout are gone.
Contingency is rough,
Oh,
dude.
Yeah,
loadout's crazy.
yeah, and then
Loadout
I'm
kinda.
I
I
miss
almost always
loadout.
use the unit or the upgrade that I brought. Like I'm like, no, this is the one I want.
I
yeah,
loved
I don't care
loadout
what you're doing.
because
I'm doing this no matter what.
Yeah.
no,
Well,
I loved loadout because the flexibility you had to have situation awareness, or if the map
yeah.
doesn't require you to need it, seize the initiative. I could take targeting scopes. Oh, I
I know,
don't
but
need to take that.
yeah,
let
but
me
you also got
take
to think
grappling line, whatever.
the
Like
units that would
options are
take
good.
this would be like, because the main unit that had this for me at least was Iden Versatile. She
Iden.
just gets her guns already, so it's not that big of a. I don't know. Again, it is what it is. I'm more bummed out about contingency. Like,
Yeah,
getting rid of contingency kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that does suck. But yeah.
Because it,
Um,
it was a really fun mechanic, especially for the armies that needed it. Because the only ones that really had it was Lando and Callus, and
Gauss.
they ran a lot of bounty hunters, operatives, commanders, stuff
Heroes.
like that,
Yeah.
heroes that needed access to it. And I also played that game of cat and mouse, is like what, or that little chess of like, what do I put in my contingency? What do I have in my command hand? If they die, who am I going to have access to? Like, I don't know. There's a little bit of levels of play that I liked, running Callus a whole lot.
Which I want to get your take when we get there, but I want to know your thoughts on the new Callus. So we'll get there eventually.
Right.
So we also Sheen Mastery is revealed, and I called it. I called
I
it.
missed this. I had to go to work. I missed it. What is
So
it?
pretty much Sheen Mastery is just old deflect. If you spin a
I
dodge,
told you
you
that
get
too. I agreed with you.
yeah, you get old deflect. So if you roll 5 surges, the 5 people die.
That's dope.
Sorry, you don't have to spin a dodge. It just procs if you shoot at her because deflect will proc and then Sheen will proc because of it.
That's
So
so
yeah,
dope.
yeah,
Yup, that's
yeah.
sick.
Which is kind of nice because she has speed 3, so she's just running down the field and you're just like shoot her, and you're just like wait, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't shoot her.
Well, you want
So
to shoot her because she looks glass cannony like Asajj. So you're
mm,
gonna want to shoot her, and that's where the problem's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah, but if she rolls 5 surges, sucks for you. So I like it. I thought it was good stuff. What about you, Rome? You like that change?
It's fine. I mean, who has it? Who has that mastery right now?
It's Ahsoka Tano for Gar.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah, Padawan.
Sure.
She's
Lift
like
the cap,
whatever.
lift the cap on Gar. That's fine.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know like just
This is
the
fine.
the new customized Jedi's, like you could pick your own mastery. I love that. I can't wait for that. So, anyways, all right. Here's the meat and potatoes we're gonna get into. There's a lot of more stuff we're gonna get into, but I think this is the one that everybody, specifically Jose, has the this is fine, but everything's on fire kind of picture in the background. These are the things we are
AMG offices right here.
no longer getting in Legion. They're out of the game. They're removed, and I got some words for these guys. So let's go down the list.
They got red carded.
DC 15 heavy weapon upgrade for the clones phase 1 is gone. Can't have that no more.
They're just throwing that on
I
the marksman,
fucking
right?
hate
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah.
hate
We'll
that.
get to the
Such,
marksman stats in a minute, but yeah, that's gone.
I hate that so much.
Um, Jetpacks for the arcs are out of there. No more
That's
jump
fine.
to. Yeah, they're really fast.
They
It's
were
not a big deal.
overpriced for the upgrade though for arcs.
Yeah,
It was
an
like
upgrade
what,
that no
20
one's
points?
taking. Yeah.
Mhm.
Boo-hoo, an upgrade I'm not using.
Hey, I took it on Rex for the last hurrah, the last event. I said that. You're putting jetpacks on Rex? Yeah, because he's not getting them next week.
Nope. And of course, they already announced this. The Imperial officer, the Rebel officer, the generic super tech droid are all being removed from the game because of the custom characters. Which
It
Dunzo.
we knew
just,
that.
well, they're being removed as commanders, right?
Yeah,
Because you can
yeah,
still
because
take
you
them
can
as
still, yeah,
upgrades.
you can still take them in as upgrades. Correct.
They need to reduce the cost on them, though, dude. Like,
Oh yeah,
they're so expensive for what they are.
especially the
Yeah.
officer for Empire
Empire,
because Inspire 2 is a big deal for them, right? They need
yeah.
that.
And
So
it gives you an extra courage, I think.
I'm
yeah,
looking
which
at it
which they
right
they need
now.
right now. Like everything in the game that's really good is like Courage 2, and droids just
Inspire
don't
1
care
and
about any of
Yeah,
Courage.
it's
that.
Inspire 1, Courage
Inspire
1.
1,
Oh wow.
Courage up 1, and it's 17 points.
Yeah, they need to lower that. They especially
Yeah.
for
I
Empire.
think
Like
12 is reasonable. I think I'm not even asking for sub 10, like 12 is reasonable. Because then I always thought even before they changed the game, I was like, I'd like to run some snow troopers. I'd probably throw rebel Imperial officer as an upgrade to so when they spur and stuff, they can kind of peel some of it off. They got a little bit extra courage and stuff. But I'm like, and then I'm stapling it on there with the flamethrowers, and I'm like, this is not what am I doing, dude? Like I'll just
yeah.
take Vader and a bunch of other good
Ye-
units.
yeah, exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
the clone captain, the old equivalent, is 22 points, but this bad boy gives you outmaneuver and defend 1
Yeah.
for 22 points for 5 points more.
Yeah, dude. And then
It's not
you
too
know
bad.
what was crazy too was the medic was not a non-combative, so they can shoot too. None of the
Yeah.
other guys extra personnel did that.
And speaking of that, the medic for the clones are now a squad leader.
Yeah, I
So
don't. That
yeah,
Take
doesn't
them
make
in
that's
sense
arcs.
either.
yeah, you could put them in
Yeah,
arcs, which is
That's
okay,
so.
fine, sure, why not? Let's make arcs more OP, I guess. So like, not only do they got the
it's
medic,
just
the heal
all
one,
the love that
yeah.
Republic gets is crazy.
Hmm.
I think I said this in the chat earlier. I'm like, dude, I get it. You love the Clone Wars, but there's so many fans. Don't you want to sell models? Like,
Right,
don't you want to sell
right.
models?
Well,
Think,
the Empire suckers still buy models. They're always the most
I
represented at all
know.
the events.
That's
So
Well,
they're
the
still getting that money.
speaking of that, Roman, selling models, apparently they don't want to sell these models. What's no longer in the game are
yeah,
Rebel Pathfinders,
Oh,
gone.
uh, Imperial Royal Guards, and Emperor Palpatine.
Jesus.
I'll
That's
let you guys go
crazy.
first. Yeah, what do you
Go ahead,
think?
Jose.
Yeah,
No,
go
no, no.
for it.
You're the
Uh,
guy who sells the plastic crack. I want your opinion.
So Kyle was hanging out at the shop earlier today. He was asking me a bit about the Legion stuff with everything going on. And he's like, what do you think about them removing? I'm like, it's fine. People will buy them because they're gonna want the sculpts. Like when they discoed the old Wookiees, people bought them up because they're like, when will I be able to buy these again? Right? They're out of production now. So selling wise, I'm not too worried about it. I only got like one, maybe two of each of those units. They're gonna go. People like collecting them. What is crazy to me is I understand it's LFL on probably a bulk of this decision, but my whole thing would have been like, if it is that big of a deal, you shouldn't have let them be put in the first place.
well,
And
go ahead.
and like Palpatine, you can make the argument because Kyle and I were talking about it too. It's like, yeah, he was never on the field. He should have never came up. Like he should have never been a unit then. If that's your argument, is that it just doesn't make sense thematically, this and that. But IRG, like, they're nothing all like they've had old comics and games and stuff where they roll around and they do stuff. They're not just the Emperor's royal guard. They're Imperial royal guards. They guard like high profile assets of the Empire. And then the Pathfinders, what is going on, dude? Like I
Well, okay, okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Tarkin was never on the battlefield either, was he? Or was he?
yes.
He was.
Tarkin,
Okay.
oh dude, Tarkin is I'll have to show you guys some other time. Tarkin's a badass. There's a comic where it shows him because he rose up through the army. Like he
Yeah.
rose up. And dude, there's a comic where it shows him where he takes his shirt off, he's all scarred up, this
He's
yoke
all
old man.
yoked.
And dude, in his mind,
He
he's
looks like Vince McMahon. Oh, buff.
almost just skinnier, right? He's lean because he's wily. He's a survivor. Because in the is a Greg Pak comic, it was really good. It was basically, man, I don't want to sideline it too much, but basically the idea was they're doing test runs of the Death Star blowing up, right? Like of destroying the or not Death Star blowing up, of destroying Alderaan, and everything had to be so perfect. Everybody on their little DJ station has to go on track at the same time, and they put sensors to see who hesitates, who's sweating, to see if there's any resistance to doing this. And then they're like, "Oh, so and so, you hesitated. Why?" He goes, "Well, I'm from Elderon." Like he goes, and then in his mind, he's like, "Oh yeah," and he rips off his shirt and he starts beating the crap out of this guy. He got this sick karambit knife that's made out of a claw, like this tiger alien thing that he killed when he was like younger on his planet. And then he asks him if it was your home planet being destroyed, wouldn't you hesitate? And he's like, he's imagining it and he's loving it because his family's there and he hated his family. He's like,
My
I,
God.
he's like, I would relish in it. Like you just like, zero hesitation. So what he does is like, after they actually destroyed Alderaan, he put everybody, or I think it was after a test or when they actually destroyed it, he put everybody who hesitated even for a little bit in a room. And he's like, all right, you guys are all the ones that hesitated. Aliened them out, just out the airlock. Dude, Tarkin is a G, dude. Tarkin,
Jeez.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see his role on the battlefield.
Well, you know what's funny about that is they also alluded, pretty much confirmed, that Tarkin is gonna have pull the strings. I don't know if that fits. Roman, do you think that
That
fits?
no, that's Thrawn, dude.
Yeah.
That's Thrawn. Like, yeah,
Maybe they
I
got
don't
the
know,
names
dude.
mixed up.
Maybe somebody again. If this was said on the broadcast, it might have been the names were mixed up. If this is what just people are speculating on,
That's what they said on the broadcast. I can totally see that.
yeah, they meant to
Yeah.
say yeah. No, but they
That's
actually meant was
hilarious.
Tag or whoever it was.
Yeah.
Like
Was
some
Tag on the
loser.
battlefield too? I'm trying to think
No,
of a unit that.
no, dude. So
Tig was
I,
just
I
a air marshal or whatever,
he
right?
could have been. So when you see a lot of the outfits, the colors are what determines it more than anything, actually. The green guys are from the army, like the green tunics, the green
Yeah.
whatever. But who knows, right? Like at what point? Because yeah, it really wouldn't make sense for Tarkin to be on the ground at that point. If he's gonna be the old man, no reason for him to be. But also kind of Thrawn too. He was just on a ship most of the time and doing all this behind the scenes stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, I want to get Thrawn on the battlefield. If he,
Well, that's what makes me very upset about this move is, and probably is LFL. I don't understand though because like we want to play with our miniatures. Palpatine, the ultimate,
yeah.
Sith, like
Well,
that was just fun.
well, imagine if you're like Dallin, who never even got a chance to play him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you just drop, $20 MSRP on a model that the next week or the next day for some people maybe are
Mhm.
like, yeah, you can't use this anymore. IRG's rough because again, there was use for them outside of Palpatine.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, that
What
sucks,
it's
dude.
in my opinion, I think it's always a bad move for a company to take away something that people bought into, that painted and they want to play. I know in our local scene, that's some people's favorite character.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
it's just it's so frustrating. I feel like, okay, again, it might have been FL, but I feel like I'm hoping AMG fought for it. Like, hey, no, we really want him in here,
Well, I'm
but
sure, dude. At the end of the day, they want to sell models.
right.
They want to sell models. So I'm pretty sure, dude, because LFL is crazy, dude. So I don't know if you guys have seen, we had a Dr. Afra variant we did, and we did that with Marvel. So when we were getting it talked through, like trying to get it made, we had to go through like tons of people. We had to go through the artist would send us an image, and it had to go through Marvel, through Disney, and through LFL. And in the cover, it's her just kind of looking back, being cheeky with her
Mhm.
gun and the droids in the back. Initially, she had her sticking her tongue out, being all cutesy, right? Like all like whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, cool, cool, cool. And I can't remember if it was LFL or Disney was like, no tongue. They're just straight up like, nope, can't have that. Take it out. And it's just, I believe it because they are very strict. They're very precious with the license, which I wish they would be this way with some of the other stuff that comes out.
Thank you. Because literally, Palpatine's in, Star Wars Unlimited. You could play Darth Maul in Fortnite and have an AK-47. Like,
Hell yeah.
like
He said, "Hell yeah."
I don't understand.
I saw a meme today with Sabrina Carpenter next to Finn from Adventure Time, being like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to kill these guys," and Finn being like, "Oh, that's a bummer." I'm like, "Yeah, that's Fortnite, dude." Like,
it just doesn't make sense. I mean,
I
again,
under yeah, dude.
yeah, yeah,
It's just yeah, it does suck when they take it away. They should have
yeah.
not. Ah, man, dude. I get why they, again, I'm sure AMG, again, they want to sell models. They want to continue, making money. It's just crappy that
Well,
this is the situation.
at the same time, Disney's probably bankrolling off Fortnite way more than they are with
Oh yeah.
AMG's little
Oh
board
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
game.
yeah,
money's
yeah,
money
yeah.
though. Like people
But the
bought
amount of money
Palpatine.
is different. Yeah,
And no, I get it, but
they made
also it's
millions
like
off of Fortnite.
I get it, but
Sure.
also it's like it's a fucking board. I mean, I'm sorry for curse. I'm trying very hard not to curse. It's a freaking board game. Like,
Yeah.
let them
Yeah.
play their little plastic army guys. Who cares? Like, I don't know. For them to be this strict about it is a little crazy. It is. It is nuts. It's messed up. And then again, like Palpatine aside, whatever. You can make all these arguments back and forth. The IRG and the Pathfinder specifically. What is the reason to
We
take
don't
them
even get
out?
Biston as a heavy, and like
Or Pal.
if they would have killed Pathfinders, right, and let Biston and Pow just go as heavies in Rebel Core, that would have been decent because Biston was in a good spot. Pow not so much, but still, if you had to choose between the entire Pathfinder line getting demolished or keeping Pow and Biston, you keep Pow and Biston. That should have been a middle ground.
Yeah.
Well,
I
correct me. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead. Because you're
Correct me if I'm wrong though. I know I forget the names, but the guy with the Gatling gun and then the one that says the force is with me and I am with the
True and
force.
Bays,
Oh yeah, Baze
Yeah.
Malbus and Chiru Imwe.
Yeah, they're in Shatterpoint, correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't the secondary units Pathfinders?
There's two
yeah,
Pathfinder units in two separate boxes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they're
It doesn't
Pathfinders,
make
right?
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know what their game is long term. Like why the decision doesn't make sense. Kyle brought something up that I guess somebody had commented that one of the characters in the Pathfinders is going to play a bigger role in the next Andor season, and they don't want to like conflict with that, but I'm like, it's a board game. It's a
Yeah.
freaking board game. Let them play with their little plastic army man, dude. What is going on?
Yeah,
Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what is the reasoning? And it
I
sucks because something like this, we're never going to get the answer to. Not really.
no.
Because this is above AMG's head. Like, when it's LFL Disney coming, like, at them, it's like, it's above their head.
I I love their picture of Pathfinders on this side. Why use Pathfinders when you can use Rebel Core? And I'm like,
Oh my
really?
God, dude.
Well, again, like I know you're making an argument for understanding Roman what they're saying. I just don't understand like why it's a big deal to play Palpatine
I
on the
know,
battlefield. Because like
I know.
think about it, if you're trying to go lore wise, like oh Palpatine would really do that. You know what's not lore? Maul fighting with CIS or
No, I
Maul fighting
agree.
with
I
Asajj.
agree.
You
I
know what I
know they
mean?
should take him
We
out.
can
Yeah, get
at
rid of him
least we
too.
can at least we can confirm that we're not going to get a Rogue One Battle Force anytime soon.
That's
No,
ridiculous
I
too.
think we are gonna get a Rogue One Battle
I
Force, but the Rebel troopers are gonna be the Pathfinders.
It's so
That's
stupid.
dumb. So what I think, I told Rob, and I feel for Rob because this is his first war
Yeah.
game. I told because this is, dude. Remember again, 3 years ago we had the same thing with Empire. Empire just got looked over completely, and we got Blizzard Force out of it. They're like, not only are we going to give you Blizzard Force, let's give Vader what was it compel. We're gonna raise the speed on Op Vader. Like they gave Empire a lot because they're just like, all right, here you go, guys. Like it was on layaway. Like just give it a sec. So I got a feeling the Rogue One Battle Force will be really freaking good. They're gonna do a lot of stuff. The problem is to tell someone like Rob or like me even who dude, you guys remember I was grinding out Vader and Callus and
Mhm.
all these
Oh yeah.
crap units when it was the worst, dude, when it was the
And you did
worst.
good with them though. You did
Yeah,
really good with them day
but
one.
then it's like it's hard to tell people who don't understand that it's like, dude, or who only have one army, right? What if you could only afford Empire and you were like, I would just wanted to get by. I wasn't even trying to be ultra competitive. I just wanted to have the ability to use my skill with the units available to try to be like good, to contend, to
Now
stay.
you got to get gooder.
Now you just got to get another faction. Like, look at Rob, dude.
Rob's already. Do you see Rob's chat? He's like,
Dude, he's
man,
done.
those
Yeah.
starters look spicy. I might get all
Well,
three.
he even admitted that, the reason why I got into the game was because of Palpatine.
Palpatine, yeah.
Yeah, and
Palpatine and
now
Snows. And he picked the
like
two worst units with
yeah, honestly, if they took Maul out, I mean, I still play, but I'd be pissed about it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'd be upset too. If they took Boba Fett out, I'd be like, dude, this isn't doing it for me
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Like, it would
yeah.
deter me a bit because even though I don't play him, I want to have the option to take that option away. You
Yeah.
always don't want to take the options. I'd rather them run Boba to the ground and be like, he's 300 points and he's half everything, and be like, well, I can, if I want to, I can run him and just have a bad time. You
They are
know?
running it into the ground. They took your flamethrower.
That's fine. The way again without contingency, I wouldn't have ran it anyways. That's the reality, dude. Like I just would not have used it. But I hope they give other command cards in place of that. They probably won't. I mean, maybe at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
There's always that hope. I doubt it. Um,
Boba Fett command card pack.
We'll see. We'll see what they're doing with the plan. I
right.
just think it's a horrible move. Like, I'm with you, Rome. They could have just made Palpatine just unplayable, and then nobody would ever play him. Like, he wouldn't even
So
getting played now.
yeah. So my and this is I get it. It's a whole nother mechanic they have no plan for. But my buddy Steve, who was also had bought into Empire just because he wanted to have those models as Vader and Palp, he plays a lot of Song of Ice and Fire. They have sideline commanders. They could have done something where it's like, here, you pay your 100 points for the Palpatine. He's on the side, never comes on the board, but he gives you access to these command cards you can run, right? Like you can run an entire legion or whatever. Like
Mm.
but that's a whole nother mechanic that they'd have to put in, and it would drift it further away from their game systems that they like, which is a Shatterpoint MCP. Me and Kyle were having a conversation. I know we talked about it earlier, and Rob brought up a great point. Was like they want the game to keep going. They're just so incompetent. And I had run through a plethora of examples or like kind of like parallels where I was like, it'd be the equivalent of who's under so it'd be like a car company, right? Let's just say Ford, whoever owns all of Ford or whatever, and they have all their subsidiaries, and they'd be like, this company right here makes a great car. We love what you're doing. You make V8 muscle cars awesome. We just bought Mazda. We want you to start working on these rotary engines. And it's like, dude, we don't what like we obviously we want to sell cars, we want to make money, but we don't know this. So what they're trying to do is when they made Shatterpoint, it was very similar to Crisis Protocol. It had very similar kind of core mechanics for the most part. They changed a few things up, flavored it up a bit, but it's kind of the same thing back and forth. And that's kind of what they try to do, right? We're like, we're gonna retrofit this engine into into an old car, into an old system, right? Legion, they changed it up to be more accumulative victory points, very similar to Crisis and
Mhm.
Shatterpoint, right? And it's still not working. And I think they're like, dude, we're doing everything we can. We just don't know how to work. Our mechanics don't know how to work on this car. We don't even know what parts go into it. the stuff we want to sell, nobody
Damn German
wants.
engineering.
Yeah, basically. And it sucks. It sucks when you like it, right? Imagine being a fan of Datsun and Nissan's just like not doing
Yeah.
a great job. And it's like, it just sucks because it definitely feels like this is just incompetence. Like they don't know what they're doing. Like they have such a great thing. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's just and I want to put all the blame on LFL, right? Because it's just like
Nah. Put the blame on NFL for Palpatine and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
licensing,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, completely. Whatever. It's their property. They can do whatever they want for it. But when it comes to the game and making the rules and stuff like that, like, dude, you can take the constraints that they have and try to make something workable. Because I mean, they don't have LFL, but Marvel and Disney aren't easy to work with, and they're doing it with MCP. And then LFL and Disney is still a hand in Shatterpoint. I get it. The engine that they have with their games, homemade, they're comfortable with. They know how it works. Like we know what goes into this. We know the ratios. We know the gas to air and blah 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 and this and that and the tire traction, whatever the hell they need. But you need to figure it out. Like your job, if your job is to take out the trash and make sure it gets put away and not leave any besides a dumpster, you're gonna find a way. You can't just be like, oh, well, it didn't work out or whatever. We had too
yeah,
much trashes going on. No, your job is this. You get paid for this. This is your responsibility. Now you can make mistakes, but you got to also be like, oh, we messed up. We didn't think about this, or we thought this would be. Have good reasons. Don't just be like, oh man, we're gonna stop talking about it. This is what it is. Wait until November.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
communication.
yeah.
When you make mistakes,
Wait,
communication matters more than anything.
wait for the rest of the rest of the game.
Oh
Because
man.
it's just another thing they announced is that no points change. So nothing got changed.
After they
Everything is
said
points.
they were gonna do points. They
Did they? Did
said
they?
yes they did.
They did change points. Didn't the
Yeah.
ranges go up?
Oh yeah, that's right. Range troopers did go up. They went
Yeah,
up
You
10
know,
Useless
points.
unit
they
went up.
if you
Yeah.
go back
Yeah,
and look at if you go back and look at a lot of the pods they were on, Notorious Scoundrels, Gray Squadron, all that, and even and I'm not crazy because a handful of posts AMG has made has been turned into a roast central, and you have hundreds of players voicing the same thing. You guys said points. Selling point was points. Where are the points? I'm done. They have mentioned there's gonna be points changes, and at the time when they needed it most, like I was telling you guys in the chat, so
The
many
avatar was
players,
nowhere to be found.
so many players. The last straw was points. Yeah, mainly Empire players, but
which
the last straw was
I
points.
want to say that range trooper thing has to be a mistake because they said no points and then the range troopers got increased by
But
10.
that's on the printed file. Like that's on the
Yeah.
new card file.
A unit that nobody's taking. That's crazy too. Like it's just kicking the dog while it's down, man. Like what were they? And that's the thing is there's no communication, right? I understand for now. Give it a week for people to cool down. Let them vent their frustration, this and that, and then be like, you have to have a little more communication going forward on the sense of like, this is why we did it. Maybe it wasn't well thought out as we thought it was, or we didn't think it would affect it this way. But you have to have some sort of communication. And I don't think we're going to get that. I just don't. I feel like when it comes to Legion, this is just, they don't know how to ride bicycles, man. They're working on cars and motorcycles are just falling on the wayside. They're
The
like, dude,
Razor Crest lands and have no idea what to do with it. Just
yeah.
bang it till it works.
I,
It's just, it's a bummer because you're making all these new starters and all these new kits, and you're not giving Empire players a reason to buy it. So why even put the production into this? Like they just dropped the ball again. Like they are, it feels complete incompetence. Like it just, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
It could have been worse. They could put riot troopers in the Empire box.
yeah, I'm trying to make Riot Trooper work, but we'll see how that goes. Some more bad news, and this is kind of gets to me
Is there
too.
good news? Is there good news at all?
The area terrain was good news. I took that as a win. That was awesome.
Yeah, you got to take your wins where you can.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
Uh,
pile of shit,
they
Bill Burr.
removed aggressive tactics, battle
Lame,
meditation,
lame,
comms relay, the Steam
worse,
leader, and the
lame,
refurbished Gonk droid for the AA5.
terrible.
Okay, so my biggest gripe with this and why I hate it so much is they're no longer doing new generic cards upgrades. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
this is what we had. Like I always loved it when FFG came out with the Force user because we got a new Force power, and now these guys don't want to do generic upgrades. They're just like, nah, we're not gonna do that anymore. And then they're taking away the ones we have. So like,
They had their reasons though. That's the thing. This is the one thing I'll give them credit for. They showed us these and gave us a legitimate reason, however legitimate you think it is. they gave us a legitimate reason why they took it out. For instance, aggressive tactics, they felt like it was cheating out surge tokens that you wouldn't otherwise have, causing things to shift on the battlefield, which I mean, realistically, it's one to two at most.
Yeah.
The Gonk droid was giving, inconsistencies in terms of like the defensive capabilities it provided. A Steam leader is wild because with no IRG and no Steam leader, Roman, you got no Guardian.
Yeah.
You are Empire's gonna take shots to the face. No safe entry for Vader, no safe entry for Iden, no safe entry for any of your commanders. It's just here's these dice. Show me your defense.
And I get why they want to get rid of generic stuff. They're like, no, we want you to play the units as intended. Because then again, in their incompetency, they're like, we're designing units in a vacuum without really thinking how other people are going to build them. So I get it. They would want to determine like if they're like my this motorcycle that we fabricated out of freaking what is it that they say in Fast and the Furious with the engines like hopes and dreams or whatever
Oh,
it is.
hopes and dreams.
Yeah. If it gets wind from here or wind from here, it's gonna fall apart. So let's just remove the wind. It's just gonna be in a tunnel. It's just gonna be in a garage. Look at it, dude. This is it doesn't it work as designed? Like, yeah, because nobody's messing with it. Like nobody's giving like ah man, dude.
Yeah.
I get in that sense. I'm like, oh, it's smart on you to not do as much work or thought into it. Ah, dude.
It just sucks because like comms relay, that was a vital piece for CIS. CIS. Let me hand my order to my probe droid who's gonna comms relay it to Maul. Um, like all these things were not I really honestly don't feel like all these things have the impact that they think it does. If you want to say aggressive tactics, cool. It's a boom for CIS, which I mean a surge on a white save unit, whatever. Clones maybe more problematic. But like a lot of the stuff, like it really wasn't like when's the last time you've seen anybody use battle meditation?
Here's my thing. Here's my theory, okay? My theory is that they played against somebody who's really good, like for a tester that's like good at the game, and he just like played CIS,
Waffle stomped them.
and then he comms relay he did the daisy chain all the way to the probe droid, comms related to Maul, and then Maul got dived in and made him safe, and the developers like, I don't like that. We're removing that card.
How dare you? How
Yeah.
dare you rush my Gar?
Oh
The
man,
audacity.
yeah,
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 no, it's
That's
at
the thing
least
is
they
we
give reasons. That's all I appreciate.
yeah,
Whenever AMG will give us
communication,
a
right?
reason,
Even when it's
correct
bad, you want
communication, I'll
communication.
appreciate it. I'll
yeah.
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
get it. As bad as it is, like maybe in their flawed logic, at least you're getting some type of response. I understand. I agree with you on that part, Jose, where it's like we're getting some communication on this part. That's what makes it burn so much when they take out units. Like, what's the communication besides they didn't let us? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, we
Feel free to.
poor Nick. His land speeder can no longer take Luke.
dude, yeah, what is
He
going
lost his
on?
Gonk droid. Like, is there a reason for him to
He lost
take?
Pathfinders.
He lost.
I
They
don't, I
took
don't,
everything from Nick.
I don't even think he likes Jin at this point. We'll get his feedback
Yeah.
next
He's going
episode,
back
but
to 40K.
no, I think
No,
he's done. I think he's just going to run the MCP league, and that's it. He's going to announce his retirement next episode. Watch.
Stay tuned for next week to see Nick explode on live
Um,
television.
Nick
uh,
is a Scarlet Witch and AMG Thanos is like, you took everything from me.
Dude, I
Like,
don't
I don't
even
even
know who
know who
you
you are.
are. We're gonna get Nick's first F-bomb watch.
Nah,
they
we have to hold
Uh,
his
also
composure.
the other minor notes is they changed Hunter to be called On the Hunt, which is fine.
They're probably going to do another version of them. That's why we're probably going to get like a commander version or something else. Why?
Hunter for the
Why?
Well,
Empire?
no. The command
No.
the upgrade the hunter where if something's wounded, you get to roll an extra or you get an egg from
Yeah.
it.
Oh, the hunter.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
the
they
I thought
changed
you.
it. I know. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. I think that's why they changed it because you guys thought I meant the Bad Batch Hunter.
yeah.
They changed the name of the upgrade card Hunter to be On the Hunt, so people
Who
probably
has
don't get
that?
confused. On the Hunt,
No, the Hunter
Bad Batch.
upgrade.
Yeah. You know the Hunter upgrade with Bosk, where if you target a unit that has a wound,
Oh, was it called
yeah,
Hunter?
yeah, it's called Hunter.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah.
it's been
Okay,
so long.
So
dude. Yeah.
another
Your
change,
boss is just gathering dust.
another change that I'm not sure how I feel about is HQ uplink. You can only take two. It's got two pips on it, so you can't take more than two.
You can't
Which
spam them.
All
Yeah.
I use is two on my Aqua droids, homie.
Yeah, it's a minor change, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Another change
Were
I
you
like,
really taking more than two, honestly?
I mean,
Your stats,
probably
maybe?
not.
No, even
If
stats you're only taking two.
No, you
Or
only take it
one, if
one on
that.
steps. Yeah.
if there was good enough units, you probably would think about it, right? At least, like
Yeah.
if there was that you were spamming, let's just say you wanted to give all your special forces, all your
I
whatever.
used
Maybe I
to
can see that, but
I
yeah, you're
used to
right
do
though.
it in I used to do it in old skirmish where I would run Leo with three vets and three Mark twos, and I would HQ uplink the three vets to give the Mark twos the orders, and then give an order on the snow speeder, and then have a perfect order round one.
Or even on units that have like target, right? When they get an order, they gain um an
Yeah.
aim. But
Yeah.
they took that away from short troopers. So I don't care.
Well, I at least the 20 HQ uplinks I have like in a pile, I can now burn all except for two.
Right.
Situation awareness is 4 points across the board. Supports don't get attacks anymore to take it. So specifically Tauntauns, that's a good
They're gonna
change.
push for that. Yeah. When
Uh,
Luke and Han Tauntauns come out, they're gonna change that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
When you're running
no,
a full
I
Tauntaun list,
I
yeah,
think
no,
that's
that's gonna change.
why they changed this is because of they've been playing with the Luke Tauntaun. They're just like, oh, this is now 8. No, let's make it 4.
I need dodges. That's important now.
Whatever battle force they come out with those, I mean, they're gonna add them to echo based defenders, so they better do something. Ah, man, I just don't have any faith. Again, they're incompetent, dude. It's like Homer Simpson. Like Homer Simpson gets all the responsibility and does none of the work. Just messes up left and right. Oh man.
Saber throw is now clarified. It's a range attack, I guess. When you did saber throw, it was still classified as a melee attack. It never came up in any of our situations, but they rewrote that to clarify that. So,
I always treated it as a range attack because it gives suppression when I would chuck it at people.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a range attack, it wouldn't give suppression.
yeah, I guess there are some scenarios where
New players, probably. New
it's still
player etiquette.
technically, yeah,
Yeah,
probably
stop
couldn't have got.
arguing. You got a young Jose over there being like, "No, it's not. It's a melee weapon."
Bro, I was such a terrible list builder back in OG Legion days.
The
JR
good
has
old
some
days,
stories,
the
bro.
good old days, the
I
good old days.
back in old Jose Brain Legion, 800-point Legion, let me take eight actions and eight activations and rebels and just deck out everything.
Yeah.
The good
Um,
days.
All right, now we're gonna get into specific changes before we get into the new units that they revealed that they reworked. And for Empire changes, Veer his 2 pip doesn't give vehicles outmaneuver anymore. It gives them nimble instead.
It's so
Uh,
stupid. I
I,
hate
I
that.
like. What do you mean? That's a good change. I like that change.
What are you trying to sink in a vehicle most of the time? A crit. So I
yeah,
can
because of
dodge,
armor.
I
But
can dodge
it's
like if you have impact one and you get, let's say you throw six dice and you get six hits, I can no longer dodge that one crit and let my armor take the rest. I have to, I have to roll for the crit.
sure, but I mean, before impact procs, right? This is where it would be handy, and all the vehicles that don't have armor can just dodge a hit, right? So it
I,
comes.
I,
I
I
think I
wish
like it.
I wish it just gave them old armor. Like the command card's like, here you go, just cancel any non-crits. That'd be better for Empire.
Yeah. I mean, specifically, I'm
Or
thinking of this like the speeder bikes, right? Like they don't have armor, but you can take a dodge now, and then you just keep cycling the dodge to negate a hit. So essentially,
Dude,
you have
realistically,
cover two.
dice pools are so fucking huge now. One
yeah,
dodge means
Yeah.
jack shit.
I like it's a better change. I like it than what it was. But
Nah,
the
terrible.
change I don't like is his 3 pip recovers only units issued with that card.
that's lame.
It is lame. Michael ran some lists where he would run a bunch of HQ uplinks on, scout troopers and then just recover them. And it's like he had full order control and I loved it.
Yeah,
So
the Yeah, it's kind of a bummer too, because like I would use that a lot for like my Caleb Core a lot back in the day when I would run like the Stormtrooper Captain and all that other stuff, uh, O push and all that, because it's like you said, you recover all of it at once. Like, ah, man, that's rough. It's rough, man. Already because you're
They're
only giving out one to Veers. Who cares? Who cares on that part? And then two units, like, whatever.
yeah.
They like I said, you're gonna get into more of the command cards, but I like looking over the command cards myself. Like I mentioned in our Discord, they're just taking the power top end off of a lot of these command cards. It almost feels like they don't want like command cards are supposed to be some of the most effective things you can use to turn a game, and
Because
it
you only
seems
you
like
only get so many. Yeah, you only
and
get
it
so
seems like
many.
they're taking the top end off and giving you a little bit.
Again, they're trying to retrofit this engine into this car, right? Because MCP and Shatterpoint, they don't have command cards. It's again in those games, the unit you play is the unit you play. And I
Yeah.
think that's what they're trying to do.
And the tactic cards are bonkers when you take the right
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. Some more Empire changes is Vader's might. His
Half range,
his
yeah.
half range is no longer one range, which I mean,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
people weren't taking Vader's might often, so it is a nerf, but it's
I
whatever.
would
It was
take
a
it.
free
I would
force
take it
push.
in my contingency.
Yeah, sure, yeah,
Double whammy for Rome.
yeah.
Yeah.
As we mentioned previously, Ranger Troopers did go up 10 points, so they lied to us. There was some point changes,
They try to be sneaky.
but that's all for Empire changes. Other
Why on
than
that unit though, dude? Like it just doesn't make sense. It
And
doesn't
nobody takes it really either.
because
I,
they're
I
not
think I think
great.
you're right. I think they just don't understand how the game is being
I
played on a
I
competitive level,
thought
right?
I
Yeah.
thought the other day at the shop when I was eyeballing the Star Wars stuff on the wall, I was looking for ARF troopers because I need 2 boxes of ARF troopers. Just I'm the idiot who's gonna pay $100+ for 2 Jedi. Um, but I was eyeballing the range troopers. I was like,
Because they
I'll
look
probably
cool.
I'll probably get these next game night. Oh, 10
I
points.
still
Oh, that's
haven't
out the
gotten them.
window.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten them. And I wanted them just to build and paint, but all my free time's just gone away.
I wanted them because I like the mask. Like my short troopers, I did them black and I dry brushed white to make it look like a
Yeah.
Punisher skull.
Yeah, they
So I
look
was like
cool.
thinking I
No,
could
I
do the same thing
agree.
with
Yeah,
these
they look
range
amazing, dude.
troopers.
Yeah, no, I agree. They look
Ugh.
amazing. They're cool units, like cool looking, but they
You
didn't do enough before and they definitely don't do enough now.
you ruined it, AMG. You're not getting my money. Not today.
Not
Not for
today.
Legion.
Ooh, MCP.
Hold on, there's range troopers in MCP. I'll buy these.
So that's it for all the Empire changes. Uh, moving on to the Rebel changes. So
Oh, rest in peace, Nick.
So what do you mean rebel or what do you mean changes on command cards or
yeah. So the Empire changes. So other
Callus is three
well, yeah.
pip.
He's
Other
doing those
than
later.
yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
go over the all rework characters and go over the new pips or the new command cards. I'm just trying to get rid of all the like changes
Okay.
that are not those big
All the
guys.
general
You could
stuff.
have said
Yeah.
trash run rebels. It's okay.
Well, I feel bad for Empire. Empire just got kicked so hard. Like they lost their leader Palpatine, IRG, and then they got no love as far as like point reduction. In fact, they got the only point increase that I know of.
And they lost some good generic upgrades.
Yeah. Um. So Wicket, which I think is dumb, lost Sharpshooter 2. And his scouting party is now for anything. It's not restricted to just Ewok tribe.
That's dumb.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's that's fine.
That's
Scouting
dumb.
party, scouting party should be scouting party.
Well, I just hate that they removed Sharpshooter 2. It's like,
No.
The
The reason
fucking
why
teddy bear with a rock.
yeah,
yeah, that doesn't make sense.
he's freaking Wicket. Wicket's the
Yeah,
badass.
and Wicket runs away, which he has his command card to do
He's
that.
like, "Huh, huh."
No.
So
Now the scouting party with the rebels doesn't make sense because they can't understand him.
Oh
Ewoks,
sure,
yeah.
when they're
sure,
scouting
sure,
party with
sure,
them, that makes
sure,
sense.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Break the lore when they want to, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, LFL, help.
for the tribe, his command card for the tribe, all effects locked to order from the card. Which is fine. Mandalorian resistance, buffed
This is
weapon,
cool.
yeah, to melee. So the range 2 weapon is now melee, I believe, or am I saying? I
It,
think that's wrong.
it's standard with all the range 2 melee options
Oh
now.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
standard.
yeah, yeah, yep.
That's just that the so if you have a range 2 gun of any type, the standard in Legion now is you
No,
have
I don't think that's standard. Well,
why? Because
no.
they changed it in Shadow Collective.
Uh, did they change Geonosians? Geonosians is still range 2. I don't think it's melee. It's still 1 black and
Is it?
melee unless they change that.
No, I meant the range 2.
Yeah, their range two is a white and a black, and you can't shoot that in melee. They have spears for melee.
Let me see.
I'm looking at it right now.
Continue.
And then Sabine Wren
Oh, fuck
has
Geonosians. They get 3 moves.
Sabine Wren is also melee to range two, so her weapon you could do a melee.
Can
Ahsoka
you
Fulcrum.
gunslinger then?
No, no, because
No.
I think
Doesn't have
Gunslinger.
versatile.
I think Gunslinger specifically says range attack.
Oh, so they count as melee
Yeah,
It's
profile. Okay.
yeah.
yeah,
It's like sticking your
Okay.
fucking blaster in somebody's gut and pulling the trigger.
I
yeah.
I know, but what if there's two guys
Well, they
attacking?
should have given her
Right?
versatile. That should be
Yeah.
worth it.
So, anyways, I
uh,
started blasting.
Yeah.
Ahsoka Fulcrum. Command cards now locked to Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, which makes sense.
We saw that
You can't
coming.
use them in the Gar. No Time for Sorrows. Effect only you worked for units issued by this card. Now, I'm going to go over these, and if this strikes out to you or something you want to say, just jump out at me, because there's a lot of these. My ally is the Force. Affects only the units issued by the card, which is,
Power cap.
yep. You serve your master well is locked to, obviously, Jedi Knight Luke. The effect is changed if ally unit is chosen that move or attack. If the enemy is chosen, they gain 3 suppression. So you can't make the enemy attack the enemy anymore. It
That's
just
so
gains 3 suppression.
stupid.
Yeah, that's a horrible change.
So then you just combine it. You just combine it with Mind Trick, and now you have a free panic unit
Sure. Good for sweeping clear, but yeah, I think that's a horrible
and
change.
scoring a point. Taking a unit, you could force push a unit off, and then you can insta panic a unit.
Hmm.
Flip that point.
Yeah. Crackshot's been changed. Instead of gaining a standby, he may make a free attack action during his activation.
That's
So
dope.
he
I like
gets two
that.
two attacks on Crackshot.
He still has Gunslinger. I'll
Oh,
check that. You keep
yeah,
reading.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because if he still has Gunslinger, that's fuck. That's money, dude.
Yeah. This is a gen card that affected Machain. One of her command cards is I Rebel.
I
I
think they've got
rebel.
that wrong.
I rebel. It's I rebel. It's just you could say it 2 different ways. She can now make a free move action and then a free attack action after an enemy activates. It's fine.
Nope, they got rid of Gunslinger. Cassian's terrible. That they got rid of Gunslinger so they could put that action on his card. That's dumb.
I think it's Tupac gives him Gunslinger, no?
But he doesn't have it for that. So the original crack shot lets
Gave
you
you
make 2 separate attacks, but you had Gunslinger. So now they took Gunslinger off, so it's pretty much the same thing. It's just taking Gunslinger off or some shit like that.
got it. Uh, the Mandalorian Resistance for Rebels have got combat shields now.
That's
So
That's
dope.
cool.
yeah, that is
What's
really
the
good.
price on them though? What's the
10
price?
points.
Oh, that's standard.
Yeah, is that the
It's standard.
Shadow
Same
Clone?
thing. It's same thing in Shadow
Which
Collective. The
is
only shield that's 5 points is,
I know
I
some
believe,
of our
Sabine and Saxon.
local boys wanted the shields, and I was just like, you got nimble, but now you got shields and
Shields
nimble.
and nimble. That's
Yeah,
sick.
so you're gonna survive a lot better. I like this change.
They're trying to give competition to sleepers.
Sabine Wren's
Saban.
yeah, her shield now refreshes like ours, which is nice. And that's it for the rebel changes. Anything that's you guys see particular that you're just commented on, or it's whatever.
It's fine.
Mando's
It's nice. It's nice to
Mando's
have rebels.
Yeah,
Mando's good. Everything else command card wise is just power capped. That's it. You can no longer do the fun, ridiculous, shenanigans that command cards used to be known for.
yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to the Republic changes. So Padme lost her armament slot. No one's taking Padme anyways. Padme's
Yeah,
crap.
well, a lot of the armaments are just going away on the heroes and being put on their cards now, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because I'm sure whatever gun she had is probably on her card now, right?
It was like a red and a white, and it was sharp too.
Yeah. The Wookiee Warriors, their names are Wookiee Warriors, and underneath them are the changes for the names, right?
Right.
Let's see what else. Synchronized offensive is effect
I
locked
hate
to the
this.
order from the card, so no more
I
cheeky play with
hate
Cody,
this.
Commander
I
Cody.
used to be able to get 5 orders off a 1 pip with Cody. Cody in fives and 2 Cody fives and two vehicles, and you could proc 5 orders on a one pip. Oh, I hate. I should have ran that for the last hurrah at the event.
But how would you
You
gonna know?
should have.
How were you supposed to know?
Well, we knew before the event because remember I was in Visalia when I was asking
Oh
about the
yeah,
hat and all
that's
that
right.
stuff.
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I specifically said in the chat, I was like, this sucks because the trick was you direct a vehicle, it pops the order to fives, five pops the order to another unit, then you order a vehicle and it pops an order to another unit, and you had 5 orders on your one pip. That now I think about it, could have been a killer turn two scoring point. When you're scoring, set your vehicles up, get your little chain going. Here's my one pip, here's my 5 orders, bring it.
Yeah.
Damn, now it's capped at, I want to say it's capped at 3 now because it doesn't work on direct anymore. So you would order a vehicle, it would chain to 5. So you're going from 5 to 3 on a one pip.
Yeah.
Still good, but like power cap off the top is once again not a thing.
Air support lost the clone trooper commander requirement, so
It's decent.
yeah, you can have
You don't,
Obi-Wan.
it's not it to be honest, it's good, but the thing that sucks is you can't do it turn one reliably because your opponent's just gonna hide everything, and you really don't want to play it on any turn after that, so it's just a useless card.
Yeah. The NASP bomb bombarder.
That's
I mean,
Bombardier.
yeah, they removed immune to deflect, so that's no longer on the card. The clone medic, which we previously just talked about, is for clone trooper only, so it can be put into arcs, ARFs, and all those guys, and it's for the squad leader upgrade and no longer the personnel slot.
So that's crazy because I was thinking
So
about
what
this
what do you
today.
mean? Squad leader's always been personnel slot in general, though. So that just means it becomes your leader. Or do you mean heavy?
No, no.
No, no,
So
no. So
there's
there's a separate
three.
slot.
Yeah, they added a new one for clones called the squad leaders, which had the clone helmet icon.
Oh,
So
really?
so now
Yeah,
you have to choose. Now you have to choose. So for instance, right before this change, you had the clone captain, you had the clone commander, and something else. So for instance, the clone captain I told you about, 22 points, and you get outmaneuver and dodge, right? Then so what you would do is you do the clone commander in your captain and your leader slot, and then for your personnel slot, you would do the medic. Now you have to choose between one of the two. So now medics actually carry some weight if you take them or not. You can't just spam them because now you're giving up all the other stuff.
Interesting.
yeah, yeah,
But you get to take them in arcs now, so I guess that's fine.
Bringing back an arc is nuts too.
yeah. It's ridiculous, and they get to shoot the arc's weapon profile as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Um, this change I do like for Gar. Yeah, again, you could totally see the bias with Gar than any other faction, but
yeah.
this is a good change in my opinion. The veteran clone pilot and the clone shocker trooper pilot are not restricted to the saber take only and the lat only. It now just says Republic heavy only. So now you can take the veteran clone pilot in the lat, and you can take the clone shock trooper pilot in the super saber tank. Good
Not
change.
worth it.
I like it.
Nobody's. I don't see. There's no use case for it. It's
We don't know that. Maybe in the future there will be.
well, I mean, it's what they bring. Like the. Let me
Who
see. Where's it
knows? Maybe
at?
with a
The
212 battle
veteran,
force.
the
Right.
veteran, all it does is let you token share, which, whatever. If you're sharing tokens with a lat, like you're retarded. And then the other one, the shock pilot, all it was you get to choose a enemy, you get to choose a friendly unit and give it a surge token. I mean, you're already, I don't know. I don't roll surges, so maybe I'm just biased.
That's it for Republic changes. Not a lot. Specifically, not a lot for Separatist changes. So there might be a little bias there,
They're
but
perfect.
they pretty much are. They pretty much are. Kraken and Kalani, as we mentioned before, they're locked to just Kraken and Kalani. Preservation protocols is only effect comes from being ordered by the card. So
Power
whatever.
cap.
I think that was always the case, but
They just don't want you to have fucking crazy fucking woo plays. They don't. What? No, the correct thing is they're limiting the fill back gotcha moments. That's what
sure,
this is about.
sure.
which is a command card. It should be a power play. Sorry.
You're
Continue.
fine. You're fine. That's it for separatist changes. Sucks for Jose because he just got done playing Shadow Collective, and all these Shadow Collective changes I like. So the Mandalorian Super Commandos, range two weapon is now you can shoot in melee, which is a good
Hell
change. Yeah.
yeah.
The Victory or Death, outmaneuver is changed to Indomitable, which is fine.
No, that's dope. I like that.
Um, the Super Commando Gunslinger upgrade now is a melee to range two. Rookcast,
Oh,
Rookcast is now a melee to range two.
nah,
The
Okay,
she's
s-
garbage.
the Super Commando Jetpack rockets is no longer 1 to 4. It is now range 3 to 4.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hmm.
Those are good changes. That's it for those guys.
Well, the shotgun got changed too. At least
What?
that's what Rob was saying. Rob was saying the shotgun is now melee. And
That's what I just said.
oh, okay,
This
my bad.
the Super Commando Gunslinger. That's
No,
the one
no,
you're
No,
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 talking
no,
no.
about.
no,
The
no, no.
shotgun on the Black Sun.
Oh, oh, yeah, you're probably right. It probably is changed. You double check
Uh,
that because I'm pretty sure that is correct. Again, there are a lot of changes, and everyone's still looking for them. Because when they did their freaking reveal, they just covered a couple things, and they're just like, "All right, you guys can find the other
Dumped it.
stuff."
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah,
here you
yeah,
go.
the
yeah,
history update as of April 15, 2025. The Black Sun Enforcer scatter gun can now be used in melee. Woo!
yeah.
That's freaking so what seven red die in melee with precise 1 to 2.
I hope they do this to everything because I still think the Separatist B2 battle droids upgrades are not. You can't shoot in melee. Yeah, they still you can't shoot. Like the ACM is only a ranged weapon, and the HA is only a ranged weapon.
It's also 3 dice compared to the other ones that just have two.
The scattergun, does it? What is two as well?
Scatterguns too. Yeah.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
ACM has 3 dice. Their blaster gun that I like has 3 dice. So that's probably the dice pool dictating that.
Oh, that's you know what? It's funny that you say that. I'm going over the mercenary changes right now, so that's where it's at. So mercenary changes, these are for the ones the mag def enforcer
Magda.
is melee to 1. The scattergun enforcer is melee to 2. So yeah, that's right here. Boba Fett, Roman, how do you feel about this? Boba Fett's command card, the flame projector, is gone.
That's
Removed.
fine. Again, without contingency, it doesn't matter.
That's true. A
Because
simple man.
I'd
Go
rather
ahead.
just have it as an upgrade and not take up a command slot.
You
That's the
can't you take
reality.
can't you
Yeah.
take Rebel Boba's flamethrower?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Yep.
rather just use that
Oh,
than
okay.
waste a command card on it.
Yep.
Because before, the only reason you'd want to do it is to double flamethrower
Which
or
is
to have,
fun.
yeah, it is fun, or to deal with, especially with like the big blob units now. It makes sense, but you're wasting a command in a new legion where there's less turns, so less command cards are being played. I mean, you just got to make concessions where you can, and again, without contingency, because those would be literally my tools in the contingency. Be like, all right, cool, this round I can use the whipcord, or I can use the flamethrower. Otherwise, I'm not gonna clog up my hand with that. Like, they're very situational command cards to begin with.
Yeah. A simple man change card effect. Effect comes from having a face-up token or not at the start of the activation phase. So, which is pretty much how
Power
everything
cat.
goes. Yeah. And then Din's flame projector reduced to 5 points from 8, which is a good change.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, boys. What do you guys want to go over first? The Empire changes on Callus or the Rebel changes on all of their units that just got changed?
Empire.
Empire. Okay. Well, before we do that one, let's go over the Republic real quick. So they did show us a preview of the clones Marksman, which
Hate
is
it.
Courage 2, Speed 1, Prepare Positions, Marksman. It's a 1 to 3 shot with the black. Has long shot though. 4 minis, no cost. Well, they haven't shown if they what the cost is or the upgrade slots is. Why do you hate this, Jose?
Because in a world where you'd rather feed your aims to arc. If you have aims, let's put it this way. If you have arcs in range of a token unit, if you have um super fives in range of a token unit, if you have anything else in range of a token unit, and you have these marksmen, okay? Where's your aim gonna go? Realistically, to get the best out of your aim, where is that aim going? Chances are your aim is from Cody is not gonna be given to the marksman for marksman or long shot. Your aim is gonna go to the arcs who are gonna fucking blow something up, or your aim is gonna go to fives, super fives, who's gonna mulch something down. Yeah, you have marksman. That's cool. What are you gonna? I spent an aim to make the shot range four, blah, black dice, or I could spend the aim to turn a hit into a crit, or my black dice, anyways, a miss into a hit. It's dumb. It's so I would rather have kept the DC 15 and just kept my two red and my critical. I don't even care if the marksman unit had long shot and all that shit. Fine, but I would much rather just take a DC 15 in my clone boys. I at that point, like I said, I don't need to share a token to get a benefit from it. And like I said, if I'm playing somebody who has marksman and you're using an aim for long shot or you're spending an aim for marksman, cool. That means I'm not getting destroyed by your arcs with three aims. That means I'm not getting destroyed by super fives. I'll take that all day if you want to share that. That is completely fine with me. And there's speed one with prepare positions. They all they are is shores for Gar, and they don't even get a cool emplacement trooper. Like at least shores get an emplacement trooper that can bring that you can use, on top of your cap for the core.
What I'm thinking though is that since you guys can share tokens and they can already start on the field with the
Sure,
dodge,
one.
sure, but you have to have three core, right, to build an army. You have three of these guys. You prepare position them on. All three of them get a dodge. Then, when you go with them, they can take a dodge and an aim. So now you're generating more tokens to share when arcs come on the field, when arcs come on the field. Like that's huge. Like because normally what you would do with these guys, you'd move or scout and then take some green tokens. That's all you would do with your core. That's what they do now. But now you can start onto the field with the dodge to share and then it's just
You
I
can't
like it.
start. It's too much of a trap to start on the field
That
and then
depends.
just get rushed
That
into.
depends. LOS is a thing, and it seems like there's gonna be more LOS now with the area terrain.
Yeah.
So you could pretty much, I think you
I,
could
I think this is
consistently
going to be
hype.
a wait and see. It's going to be a wait and see. It's hard to speculate on units that aren't out yet because on
Sure.
paper they might look
It's
good or bad, and a
it's
lot of
gonna
times it kind of falls in the middle.
it's gonna come down to points efficiency because you're also giving up a reliable token, which is more beneficial overall than green tokens
Why
that
do you think
sometimes
it's
don't
more
matter.
reliable? If why do you think a surge is more reliable than a dodge? When you just said it yourself, you don't roll surges.
No, no, no. That's me being facetious. I do roll
Well, I
surges.
mean,
My my because
you would rather dodge a hit than to roll to see if you get a
once
surge to block it.
again, once again, I keep iterating this. You keep saying a hit like new pools don't contain 8+ dice.
Okay, but I'm giving you a scenario where
And
the
I'm
surge
telling
and the
you what my
dodge
my-
matter.
what my frame of mind is.
Okay, what's
My
that?
frame of mind is if this is old Legion where you got four black dice and maybe two other dice, a dodge is valuable. It is awesome. It is great. It is wonderful. It is fantastic. It feels good. It feels great. But when I'm shoving 8 to 10 dice in your face, especially on something so stupid like how fast you can hit the middle of the board, even when you're just regular scouting, like, what's that really gonna do? Like,
So give me an example.
what do you mean? Okay, so everybody that thought they were safe from my five shot
Okay,
had
how many dice is that?
14.
Okay, give me the average of which that would hit. Like how many hits would you get?
A lot. Ask Rob.
Just give me a number. Throw a ballpark. It doesn't matter.
I don't fucking know. Let's see.
Let's go
Seven,
10.
eight.
Yeah, let's do 10. So you're
Yep.
shooting my guy, my clone marksman for 10, or you're shooting my clone infantry. Wouldn't it be better to dodge one to make it 9 than to roll all 10 to get one surge?
I'm with you, JR. I'd rather take the for sure block one hit
Yeah.
before I even roll
I
than
think my
risk it.
my I
Yeah.
think it doesn't matter regardless, to be honest, because if you're rolling 10, 12 dice in defense, you're gonna hit a surge. And essentially, that's the same as a
So
block.
my the only part I do agree with you on is that these guys, the clone infantry, always get the surge every round, whereas in the prepared positions it's the one turn, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the drawback, right? But the opening's the better hand.
I think if you're yeah, I just think that the right now the strong it's gonna be points. It's gonna be points because right now we're paying 50
Two, I think it's 52.
52. We're paying 52. We're getting courage to reliable one. Um and that's a good sell. Especially if you're taking 6 core at 6 surges on the board.
What's the
Um
courage value on Marksman? I didn't even hear. I'm sorry.
It's
it's
two.
it's two.
It's
Two?
two.
Okay.
But there's
But
speed
what's
one and you don't get the
Yeah, the
but they
speed
reliable.
one is rough.
it is rough. But they do have marksman, the keyword marksman.
But
So
the
So
problem
it's
though is you
you
need to have the aim for that.
yeah,
You
sure.
need to
Yeah,
have the
you
aim, and
do.
that's the hard part. Because again,
and that's what I'm saying.
if we're gonna argue that for sure dodge is better than a surge, well, I'd rather have a for sure surge than maybe an aim. Like
Sure.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
I get it. There is a
Yeah.
lot of layers. Again, it's gonna be one of those we got to see it
And
on the
then
battlefield to.
Yeah, to see
like
it.
the point I made, are you sharing the surge to a marksman who's throwing black dice um and can change one what either long shot or one, or you're gonna share the aim to a ARF trooper to ARF trooper. Bleh. You're gonna share the aim to an ARC trooper that gets sharp one, 8 to 10 dice,
Well, to be honest, like I could see this being great
and
for taking out.
they would already have aims
Well, that's what I'm
from
saying.
their
Yeah,
agile, so they would be
I
two
can see this. I
aim.
can see this being great for taking out armor stuff because one, they could take a name. Two, they could share a name, which is not hard because there's a lot of things in Gar that have tactical. And then you could turn two hits into a crit, getting past their armor, right? So you don't
Chance
technically
to
need
make them roll their armor.
you technically don't need impact.
Are they gonna get heavy weapons?
I'm sure they are. They haven't
They
revealed
Okay,
that. Yeah, they
It's
haven't
not going to be
showed
a
that.
DC 15, but yeah, they should. I
Yeah.
mean,
it'd be
I
wild.
hope
At
I
speed one, I
hope
hope they get some big armor like weaponry stuff that'll deal with it. Yeah,
I
especially with that long shot. I think it'll be cool. But
my
yeah,
m- my biggest hope for this unit because we haven't seen anything other than the card. Card wise, I hate it. It's gonna kind of put. If you sell me these guys at 42 points, I'll take it. I'll take these guys at old phase one. If these guys are phase ones, I'll take it because phase twos, whereas the difference between phase twos and phase ones, 40 and 50-ish points. If you sell these guys as phase ones and give them to me at 42 points, now we're talking. I mean, at that point, you gotta make the decision if a reliable token and speed one or speed two is more value at 52 than 42. I hope, and I'm probably wishing too much because of once again this. Um, if they come out with an emplacement trooper for guard that comes with these guys, like if these guys are shores and we get a cheap little emplacement trooper,
I hope you guys do.
I will be pumped. I would
The
eat
Clone Wars
everything.
army need an emplacement trooper. Like
Like even make it
I
like
hope
a
we get
little.
Geonosian emplacement troopers. Like that'd be sick.
But I'm saying like make it like a mortar unit. Literally make it like the short troop. Give us a little janky mortar unit, a white dice mortar unit.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
yeah, we'll see. And it also too, you guys are going back and forth on the arcs. What if you're taking them in a list that doesn't have them, right? Where you're trying to spec them into something else. It's nice having another tool in the box, even if it's going to be like a random size socket wrench. You're probably not going to use, right? You'll probably still go back with your trusty stuff, but I mean, I'd rather have that option than losing units right now.
Yeah. 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 That does suck.
Right?
You
Like,
could totally see that AMG loves Gar and hates Empire and everything else is
dude,
in the
yeah,
middle.
what is going on,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think they're just still reeling, they're still suffering the fallout from Blizzard Force being so oppressive. I think
Sure.
that's really what
Sure.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. All
It
right,
just sucks
guys.
because the Blizzard Force stuff isn't even good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving on to the Imperial unit changes for Iden and Agent Callus. So Iden has quick thinking, infiltrate, marksman, nimble, and sharpshooter one. Pretty much she lost covert ops and loadout, and she gained sharpshooter one and the infiltrate keyword because covert ops you could infiltrate. She is
yeah,
a commander, so she can infiltrate as a commander.
that's pretty good.
She's an
That's pretty
operative
good.
now.
No, she's a commander.
What?
Callus is operative now. Callus
Yeah,
is operative now.
yeah.
Is she?
hmm
Yeah.
She rolls three. blacks in melee, and then since she lost loadout, all her guns are now she can use either
I
or.
like that. That's better.
That's
Yeah,
sick, dude.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
dope.
Which her Iden DLT 20A rifle is 1 to infinite. It's high velocity Pierce 1, and it's two black, just like her old one. And
It
then
would just
her,
upset me like before that not Krennic Cassian was able to switch out the guns. Like he had to reconfigure.
yeah,
And Aiden was like, "Nah, you pick it. I hope you pick the right one."
exactly, exactly. I do
Hope you
love
pick
this
the
change
right
that they're
one.
putting all the weapons on the unit card.
Yes, I
It's a
do
good
like
change.
that. I do like that. Yes, I agree. That is a good move. Again, they very much want you to be like, play the unit that you're playing. Like
Yep.
less upgrades, more. This is the unit. Go.
The only bad thing that they did for Iden is that she used to be 100, now she's 115. So pretty
Yeah,
much the gun cost is now in her profile.
it's fine. You were taking a gun with her anyways, so it's
Yeah,
taking item without any gun would be wild. Like, why would you even do that?
yeah. The only changes to her command card is Tac Strike. It is now Iden and two trooper units, where it used to be Iden and three
Yeah,
trooper units. So that's a
Taking the
little bit
power
more.
off the top.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool because now you don't need to stress, can I fit a third ISF? Now you just don't take the third ISF.
Well, I know a lot of people
You
did
bring it
on
dead.
Dead Troopers,
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just looking back to the old Iden 333, which was Iden, three shores, three mortars, three ISF. So
Yeah.
you just don't bring the third ISF.
has anybody even seen ISF? Like, it's
I
deaths
think they
now,
have.
right?
I think they have legs. Everybody seems to think they're dead. I mean, in their defense, Edward did try ISF Iden, and I steamrolled them. So maybe they're not
The
great.
problem is the wounds, the dice output. Death Troopers just do it better. Like that's just the reality of it. It's you're not throwing out. Marksman doesn't make up for a lack of dice. I'd rather have more dice. I'd rather have a higher ceiling than more consistent one. And then also the thing with Marksman is you need to have that aim, right? It's hard valuing these really good keywords like lethal and marksman and all that stuff when you have to have the aim to begin with.
Sure. Yep. Moving on to Callus. As you said, Callus is now an operative, not a commander. He lost contingency. He lost cunning. He lost flawed. He lost sharpshooter and the tactical keyword. He gained, however, observe two, which is a free action, bounty, charge, direct horde trooper unit, immune to melee pierce, and
His weapon
interrogate.
keywords, yeah. But then they
Yeah.
even changed the dice profile for his weapon, right? It's
Yeah,
not
he
a
he well
red,
he
white, two black.
yeah, yeah, now it's more. It's one oh, you're right. It's one red, three black instead of two red.
Yeah, so they made
Yeah.
him less lethal, which was the problem with them beforehand. Is in the way the game is now, you need to throw out more dice.
Yeah. And
So
he lost surge to crit
yeah,
and one
yeah.
health.
Uh,
He's now 5 health instead of 6.
Which, dude, I mean, Rob saw LVO. I just got one shotted. I whiffed, and I'm like, oh, cool. Six just went through
Yeah.
uncontested.
Yeah.
Ah, man, dude.
Well,
Bounty is ridiculous. Why even bother? He's also not a bounty hunter. He's also not a bounty hunter. It just doesn't make sense. I guess another single victory point. Like
was his
that's
like bounty like really there just because he was trying to hunt down Ghost Crew? That's it.
okay. Inquisitors should have it too. Then Inquisitors are
That's
hunting
valid.
down.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
curious. Like, is that
it
why they
just
gave
does.
it to him?
Yeah, it.
Yeah.
I think they did it just to do it. I think they're
Yeah.
like, we're taking away so
he
much
need-
stuff.
he we
Again, they
either
don't
give
know. They
we
don't know
give
how
him an
this
extra
works.
keyword, or we have to bring him down another 10 points. We'll give him another keyword.
Yeah. Well, again,
A
they don't know.
useless
They don't know how to
keyword.
work on these vehicles, dude. They're just like, oh yeah, man. People want knobby tires on their sports bikes, right? I'm like, sure, man. Whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Figure it out.
Uh,
Cunning sucks. Losing cunning
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
crazy. Obviously you've heard my thoughts on contingency. The toolbox is gone. Um, steady, not steady. Tactical gone. That's crazy. Especially because you're taking away his dice, dude, and the
Mhm.
crit and the surgical crit. That's crazy.
he
Which is
has
funny because
critical
he
one.
has long shot and like, oh, but he's got to take an aim to get that long shot now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The again, they
You
gave
could
him
take
his.
offensive push,
I
and he has
guess,
a recover
man.
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
I
He has a
guess,
recover
yeah.
card.
Yeah, for one, yeah, so one turn you get that extra aim, I guess. All right, yeah, I guess, man. They gave
I'm
him
trying to
observe
help you
tokens.
out here.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to be like, yeah, sure, man. Yeah,
Well, what's
I
hard is
agree.
that he's got long shot and lethal one, so he needs multiple aims.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
So,
I don't know. Yeah, losing that. They should have just gave him steady then. If you're gonna take away all that, just give him steady in charge. Give him relentless. Screw it. Like,
Mm.
I don't know,
Do
man. I
you?
don't
Well, the biggest thing, in my opinion, about this change for him is that he is now 70 points. He is the cheapest out of all these changes. Is
but
that
he's
enough
not a
for you
com
to take it?
I'll try him out. I like Callus. And doesn't he have something else? Didn't he have another ability? I thought he had like something.
Well, I can go over his command cards if you want. So, um, Ruthless Tactics has changed a bit. It's now 3 units you can issue orders to, and then you can spin the observation to make it suppressive.
Yeah. Is that on top of being
Yeah,
able to turn a die? Okay.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like Cody's one then, where they get the initial roll plus the ability.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh
I
wait,
thought
yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. Yeah, you spin the observation, and then if it does, it gains suppressive.
okay.
Yeah.
And then
No, no, no. So Cody's, it's not Cody's is you spend the observation to re-roll the die, or you spend the observation to get
it's
the
one or
effect.
the
It's
other. So it's probably
well,
gonna
not
be the
both.
same. Yeah, it's
It's
probably gonna
not
be the
both.
same way with Callus then. It's probably gonna be the same way. Because you get to spend it's not saying when you spend one to
It's the
re-roll
same
it.
thing. It's the
Well,
same thing. Like when you like for it's the same thing for lethal. You spend the aim for the reroll, or you spend the aim for the pierce.
Yeah,
You don't
you're
get both.
deciding ahead of time.
the
Okay.
way they're wording it is that um the unit declares an attack against an enemy unit that has one or more observation tokens.
Hmm.
The attacker unit may spend one of those tokens, period. If it does, the attack pool gains suppressive.
And that's the same thing
So
like
that's
Cody's, and
yeah,
Cody's is
no. So
one or the
yeah, you're
other.
you're spending
Yeah.
it beforehand then.
Got it.
Yeah, because you're spending before the attack
It's an
even goes.
activator,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't get suppressive afterwards. Yeah,
which is cool because you that card hands out observation, and then it makes
he
sense
has a.
because Callus has observation too.
Yeah,
So
I thought
there's your
did
procs.
didn't Callus have something about like kind of what the Inquisitors had? What the hell was it called? I thought they gave him.
Interrogate.
Yeah, interrogate.
He does
Okay,
have
what?
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
that's what
okay.
yeah, he gained that's what he gained, interrogate.
You plus one pip their pip. So if you guys are in a roll off like 1-1, your their
Yeah,
one is now two.
kind of
So
a.
quick thing is
Before you say anything, his one pip did change. Callus he gains hold the line instead of agile or block, and then trooper units cannot
Whack.
move instead of just not withdraw.
still useless.
They just said no because enemy trooper units that are engaged with Callus cannot move,
Yeah,
except
it's
Oh,
if
they
still
they're
just
useless.
can't move.
you just can't move. So
Yeah, but
if
losing the agile and the block is a little rough too, because you would like charge in with a
charges,
couple of dodges. Yeah, especially now that he only has five, five
So
units.
sure, sure,
the problem with this one pip is still there. You're gonna get force pushed off.
and
And
sure, sure.
and once
But
again
how often do
on
you take force push?
I have dude, okay, here's the thing. I've played so much more Legion than I have ever in the last few months. I've yet to face a force user without force push.
I think
And
I think force push isn't be taking a lot.
so no, but what I'm saying, you're asking me how often is it taken? I'm saying I've played more games now than I have in the past few months, and every force user's had force push. So, and my small sample size, let's just say it's 10 games, 100% take rate
I
on
also
my
think
end.
I
So
also
what?
think with that where them if they're gonna go all the way because I'm not gonna run Callus anywhere where there's a Jedi, right? I'm gonna be
But
holding up like other units on the side. So if they want to come over and use it, I get it. Yeah, it's taking it up. I don't know, man.
But that's
Callus
the
is in a weird
thing that
spot.
that's the thing
I
that I laugh at is because in the stream, once again, maybe they just don't know, maybe they're fucking around with American parts on a Suzuki motorcycle, who knows? But in the stream, Will literally said, "So Callus can now tie up Jedi, and he's gonna be a thorn in their
well
side."
he's
It's like
right though. That's the
He's
thing.
no, he's
right. Yeah, because they
not.
Yeah, yeah because they have to force push him, right?
yeah.
That's fine. My whole point of face me is you should be immovable. Period.
Yeah,
Immovable. Don't
and he literally gained that. He literally gained
no
that.
no no no.
It's no,
You
it's
know
no,
what makes him you
no,
know
no,
what
no, no.
makes him immovable?
It used to say you can't withdraw. Now, if Grievous is tied up with them and Grievous plays his one pip that has disengage, he can't move. Grievous can't move.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah, but
remember
And
remember
that's
JR the mall callus kerfuffle with dissing or face me and the freaking what was it? The
Duel of Fates.
yeah, oh
Yeah, I
man.
played Duel
my
of Fates and you play Face Me. And I was just like,
No,
that's cool.
yeah, I know. Read me the one pip again. I want to hear
Yeah.
the wording.
So okay, well, let me go back to it real quick. All right, so it says Agent Callus gains hold the line this round. Additionally, Until the end of the round, enemy trooper units that are engaged with Agent Callus cannot move except to pivot.
Okay.
So,
So
Because it would have been cool if they just said enemy units that were at some point engaged can't move. Because even if you force push them off with the Jedi, what are you going to do now, right? You're just out in the
exactly.
middle. That would have been cool. It's not as good as that.
well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. My fix to the card would have been just give a double immobilize. Callus gets immobilized,
Well, here's
and the
the thing
Jedi
though.
gets immobilized
Callus
because the
isn't
new
better than
immobilization moves.
Callus isn't better than a force user, right? It
You
makes
don't
That's
need
sense.
to be.
true.
He does. So, but the thing
Force
is,
push off, and that's it.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The Wills said it in their thing. Callus is not better than a Force user, but he can tie them up.
With
Their
the
He is
words,
correct,
not
though.
mine.
He is.
No, he's
he,
No, because
oh,
if you have to use another card, another ability on it, he is tying them up. He's forcing
yeah,
them to use it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna force push
And
you
even
over
even
here,
if
and
they
I'm gonna
did
run in
attack
charge over
Callus,
here.
even if they did attack Callus, Callus now has Surge to defend,
But you don't.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
And
You
he
don't.
has immune to pierce.
You force push Callus away, and you run in. You burst the speed and charge something else. That my
Yeah.
whole point is. You could say spin it however you want. Face Me should be a lockdown card. Period. Period. Like I
Nah,
did.
That's not.
nah,
That doesn't make sense. That
nah,
doesn't
because
make no
that's
sense.
that card for Face Me is also for Zeb. It's for not a Jedi. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
he's tying up guys. Like
yeah.
he's tying up other dudes. Again, I get it sucks being able to be force pushed off, but it for the points you're playing him at, for what he does, and having to use a command card, it makes sense. Like it makes
Then
sense.
the correct statement they should have made was Callus can stick trooper units and just leave Jedi out of it. Then I'm okay.
What
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know why you're so hung up on being force pushed. That's a 40-point upgrade now, and if it's being spent on Callus, it makes sense,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
go to town. Go to town.
Yeah,
Spend your 40 points on my 70 points. Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Just
But
makes sense.
it's the thing that's not. It's fine. I'll spend 40 points on a Vader, fucking force push Callus out, run and kill something, and then Master Force the force push back. It's not. And now Callus is stuck somewhere he doesn't want to be because chances
But
are you won
again,
the you.
this is like if I'm running into Leia or running into Han Solo, like, what are you gonna do? You're stuck in melee.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's fine.
Well,
They said Jedi, not me. Don't kill the
well, no,
messenger.
no,
They
no.
said legs on vehicles don't block line of sight, Jose. Like,
and to be clear, what they said was that it could tie up a force user.
yeah,
Technically, that's true.
it is
Well,
tying
then
him up. Yeah.
your tie up must be different because I'm thinking tie up like
He
50 Shades
thinks
of Grey,
no, he thinks
50
like
Shades of
lock them
Callus tie
down.
up,
No.
50 Shades of Callus
No,
lockdown.
no, no.
I got you with a ball gag.
What
You're
I'm thinking is
handcuffed. You're ankle cuffed.
you're not gonna one shot Callus if a force user was to attack him. You're not gonna one shot him.
I mean, he
What one shot
could.
your
He
Callus?
could.
You could
Roman?
He could.
technically you
Yeah.
could, yes.
So once
But
again, don't
it's
don't
hard.
tell me you
Chewbacca
can't.
got
It's
me.
But
harder to
yeah.
do. Yeah, it's harder
But
to
it can
do.
be.
No, I get it though.
The
70
chance
points
is not the
to
chance
mess
is
with
not
them.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem I see it more as I probably wouldn't even take face me. In the reality of it
Boom,
is
and that's so stupid. It should be a taken
no,
card.
no, because he's an operative now. He's no longer a commander, so he's going to be there to mess with their stuff to make their things worth more. Because what was it? What was the? I keep forgetting the word. What's the keyword that makes their pips one more if you tie?
Interrogate.
Interrogate. Is that only when you play your cards, or is it just in general their cards?
In general, when
In
you're in range one of the
Of
unit,
the
that's
unit
playing
is
the
using it.
command
Yeah,
card.
so that's
Yeah.
what I'm going to be doing. He's going to be there to mess with them, and Vader, whoever else I'm taking, is going to be the commander. They're going to be doing this stuff. My generic super Imperial officer, that's probably going to suck anyways. Is going to
Give him
be issuing
deflect
the order.
5. No, so we can keep
Because
moving
even
along.
beforehand, I wasn't taking face me. That would be if it was lucky in my contingency, depending on what else I had. It was just a very situational card. I don't want to have it there. I'd rather take ISB investigation. Always got to have, especially in this game. It matters so much more.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Either in the beginning or imagine like turn 3 being like, you can't play your good cards. Like,
Yeah.
so I had the Mandalorian rifle effect that you explained. Like, oh, never doing this again. I took the face me one pip
Yeah.
once. I took the face me one pip once. I forgot who I was playing. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna give this person a bear hug and 10-point force push. Yeah, I'm never bringing this card again.
Yeah.
Into
Well,
my
dude, against
contingencies.
JR, I was so mad. I'm like, the
It's-
whole point of this card was to lock dudes up, and you can literally walk away.
Yeah.
Because disengage is like you can just walk.
The
It's not
Samoa Joe?
withdraw. Yeah, that's exactly. Come on.
I imagine I imagine Callus being like, "Face me, Maul." Maul's like, "Not today." Just goes the other way.
Like
But
why?
Yeah.
Why?
so the just to my whole thing with this is just that I was so high on Callus, like on our
Nah,
last episode.
nah.
I was
I knew.
pumped. But it's called Call Me Dumb. The minute they took, I love I've and you've seen me do it, Rome. I love Callus IRG. It's just they go together. Callus is gonna get some extra wounds coming in. You might as well take them on the guard. Callus is charging. The guard is charging. Let's mosh in the middle. When they removed the IRG from the game and they removed Esteemed Leader, like not that Callus, I don't think Callus could take it before, but when they removed any instances of Guardian, I'm just like, yeah, he's one hit point less, and now he's gonna fucking die. Going in, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
So I was B tier on Callus, and now I'm like D tier on Callus.
Nah, he's
Still
C.
gonna
He's
play
fine.
him.
Nah, he's fine. 70 points is fine. 70 points is
This
fine.
this is
Yeah,
fine.
for 70 points,
He's
like
fine with all his
yeah,
weapons and stuff. He's fine. He's a
yeah.
linebacker. He's gonna hang out in the back, hide behind some now line of sight blocking area terrain, and then just run through it and lock up a unit, in melee.
Yeah. All right, boys, we're gonna move on to the rebel stuff. We're gonna start with Jyn Erso. So Jyn Erso is now 75 points. She is a operative now. She's no longer a commander. She lost
Makes sense.
yeah, it makes a whole lot more sense. She lost quick thinking and danger sense and gained agile one, disengage, and independent move. Her armament's now lost because the weapon is now on her. But gained her health has been decreased from 6 to 5.
The danger
Mm.
sense is wild, dude. I guess it makes more sense now with Pathfinders going away, but
Well, Danger Sense is on the command card now, right?
Was dangerous? Yes, it is on the command card. And I don't know, I don't understand the danger sense thing. Was it that big of a deal? Like,
yeah.
Well,
Rolling
you're
extra
rolling
defense
cover.
dice.
You're rolling cover. So you're rolling. It's like it's. I think it was more along the lines of saving time because not even saving time. You're rolling cover, and now you're rolling danger sense on top of your defensive dice. So maybe they're assuming Jin was a tank. I don't know. Like, I mean, don't get me
it
wrong. The amount of time Nick has lived on one hit point with a bazillion fucking suppression is infuriating.
well,
Well,
what's interesting.
so
Go ahead.
go ahead. Or so the equivalent would be like a unit with impervious, right? When
Yeah,
when you're getting shot at with Pierce. But the difference is you don't have to have the keyword doesn't have to have Pierce now. You're just like because what was dangerous before? Three?
I think she
Danger
had
sense 3.
4.
Yeah.
Well,
So
4.
so yeah, do you just roll an extra four dice? You can just
Yeah,
be like, my defense and this.
yeah.
Like it was a really big
It
deal.
it was
It
good.
was a really big deal. It
Yeah,
really was. Especially for a unit like her where did she have Surge to defend?
she does.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
she
you're
gets surge
uh,
quick.
yeah, you're gonna have you would have had really good odds, especially with the new cover now. You'd have so many layers of like, cool, she's surviving. And yeah, losing danger sense and the wound it's a little rough, man. It's a little rough.
Which is interesting because you make a lot of good points. However, they gave Cassian got to keep his danger sense.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
it's weird how they're being so selective on
Is
this.
Cassian a commander now, though? He's
Nope.
a commander still, right?
Nope.
No, he's
Nope.
a. Oh,
Yeah.
You know what though? Lore wise, Cassian it makes sense, right? He's always been skittish and stuff. I, Jin was just never like, how was she so why was she a commander? Why was she so like buff? Like it just kind of didn't make sense. That being said, then she should be significantly less points. If they're nerfing her to the ground like this, she needs to be a lot less
Well, she
points.
is. She's 75, right? So that's a good thing. She's only five
he
more
used to
points
be
than Callus.
100, what, 100, 110 at one point,
Yeah.
115 at one point.
Yeah, she did.
Crazy.
So she's cheap, which is good. And like I like her new mechanic. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I feel like you could do a lot of interesting things with that. Independent move's huge. Then you get a dodge for moving because of agile one. You have nimble. So it's like I yeah, I like the changes. What's important to note is that her 3 pip has been changed. It's no longer called complete the mission. It is rebellious are built on hope. And units with the face up order tokens gain danger sense 2 and indomitable instead of low profile. So no longer get the low profile.
Nah.
Um, the her 1 pip has been changed from rebellious to I rebel, I rebel, and Jin
I
can.
rebel.
It's
It's
so
a
hard
they
because
memed it. No,
I
they memed
know.
it. Will memed it. It's a little meme that they do. I rebel. I rebel. They memed
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And
It's gonna be the
Jin,
iRobot cover, but with Jin instead, and K2sos.
yeah, pretty much. Jin can move and attack for suppression instead of either or. Well, let me read this. It said Generaso gains charge during her next activation once this round when an enemy unit within two and an LOS of Generaso starts its activation before its rally step. Generaso may gain one suppression token. If she does, she may move a free move action and then make a free attack action. So
It's the her
It's
reworded
like a
version of her old one
self-compel.
pip.
yeah, I like her. I know a lot of people don't
Mm,
like her. I think she's gonna
don't
be
like it.
to shenanigans.
Well, we need to see what Darth Nicholas has to say because he has the final word. He's the Jin main in this
He
group.
is. He is. We gotta do a tournament where we all just play our main. Like Roman plays Boba Fett, Nick plays Jin. Everybody that like loves their characters. Moving on to Cassian. So Cassian is now an operative. He lost covert ops and loadout, which makes sense. He gained his weapon on the card. He is a field commander, so that's interesting. I get it; it makes sense, but you technically just not have a commander, just run Cassian. He
What?
gained, yeah, because
What?
he's a field commander.
That used to be only on vehicles.
I know.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
Well, didn't
This
he?
doesn't make sense.
No,
No, but I'm just saying, why not just make him a commander? What's the difference?
You don't have to run a commander now. You could run a little cheap
I
I
operative.
I
guess
know, but just make him an operative or make him a commander, and it's the same thing. There's no difference.
maybe to use your other commander slots for other things.
Nubby tires on the Suzuki motorcycle roam.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, dude. You're right. Yeah. They're strapping.
He also gained infiltrate and sharpshooter one. He gained a command slot, and his melee changed from two reds to three black. Range slot lost Pierce, his range lost Pierce, and changed from one red and two white to two black and two white. And his health decreased to five. He's no longer six health.
The only reason it sucks, dude, because commanders or operatives, I believe, can't share their courage, if I'm remembering that correctly. So the only reason that which is dumb, like Roman pointed out, it's already dumb. The only reason you have the command slot on Cassian is so you can take Inspiring Presence and then share your courage, which you could have done if you were just a commander.
If you're just a commander, this makes no sense, dude. It makes whatever, man. Whatever. I'm just gonna move on.
I'm gonna move on.
Well,
What?
it's like a stop sign
Oh
in the middle of like
man.
a freeway. Like, why? What was the point of this? Like with no turns. Yeah, just whatever, man. Let's just move on.
um, his one pip did
Oh,
change. Instead of a standby, like we covered earlier, he gets a free attack.
fuck,
Um,
dude.
yeah, and he's 90 points. So
I can't wait for the podcast with Nick, bro. Oh God.
Dark Nicholas is
I
coming
don't know.
out.
Nick is pretty level headed. By the time you guys record the next one, he'll have like a week to settle
So
down.
down, yeah.
He's gonna be like Rob, how do you feel now it's the day after? He's like, it's actually kind of worse.
All right. The last one we're gonna cover is Lando. Lando's cost increased from 95 points to 105. He lost contingency, covert ops, flawed, and sharpshooter 2, but gained guidance, corpse troop unit, allies of convenience, one step ahead, which we'll explain in a little bit,
I
and
love that.
and steady. Uh, his melee increased from one black and one white to three black. His range increased from one red and one black to one red and three black, but lost Pierce. So what one step ahead does is that whenever you guys play command cards, if it's an even pip, like you both played two pips, he can make a free move action with Lando. If it's odd, where you play a three pip and I play a two pip, I could choose one of my units to make a free move action, which is kind of cool. It's a little gamble, right?
Little bit of positioning, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
It's an
his
interesting layer to the command hand game.
yeah,
So what happens? What happens? So if Callus is in engaged with him, does interrogate change that math? Like if we both play a one pip, but Callus interrogate makes a three pip,
yeah.
is it still considered 1 and 1 or is it
No,
1 and 2?
no, it's considered one and two because
Yeah.
of interrogate.
Wait,
That's
I forgot. Did you say he's a commander or an operative?
He is a commander. He's a
Okay,
commander. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
interesting.
like this version of Lando. It's actually to me he's way better. And for what he's getting, the price up is kind of cool because you realistically get a free ally as a convenience. Like you don't got to pay 8 points. That's 8 points right there.
Yeah.
And then you get a little
And
gamble for free
and
moves.
better
And
dice. You get extra dice.
yeah,
And
and then in a game where moving is such an optimal thing right now, like
yeah, yeah.
off just
Free
the pit
moves is
battle, now you get free
crazy.
moves when you need them. Like that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good actually.
A
Um,
free moving Mando. That's insane. My Mando's
Yeah,
gonna get a free speed 3. Let's go.
and
that's
it's important.
crazy.
All of that's really important because of his command cards. All his command cards got changed in one form or another. So his 1 pip is now a 3 pip, and it's Chilando and 2 units. It's the Idiot's Array one, and it says until the end of this round, each time an ally unit with a face-up order token makes an attack, if the defending unit is within range 2 and LOS of Lando, and if the attack pool contained at least one blank, surge, and hit results during the reroll dice step, you may change one hit result and one surge result in the attack pool into a crit. So that's pretty
So it lets
nice.
you just get crits through. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's anybody that has a face-up order token, so it's not
Oh,
just limited
dang.
to the card, right? Yeah.
Because
So,
Rebels need more good stuff.
but I mean, Lando's got to survive if they play this, right? She's gonna
Yeah.
get shut down. Um, he now his ace up his sleeve is no longer a 2 pip. It acts as a 2 pip when building command hands, but it's treated as a 1 pip. So now he has two 1 pips. Um, and instead of activating, it's the ace up the sleeve card. And instead of activating unit, this card can now be played instead of an already played card. So if card is in your command hand during the resolve commander card effect step of the command phase, after revealing command cards, but before resolving command card effects, you may return the reveal card to your command hand, and place this card instead. Treat this card as having been selected, played, and revealed instead of that card. So Lando's the only one out of Callus that has some sort of contingency. So you pretty much I could play standing orders and then just see what you played. You know what? I'm gonna change it to ace up your sleeves. And I like
That's
that
that's very Lando.
because with Chewie, or not Chewie, with Han, with change of plans, you can literally change of plans somebody, see what they played. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna switch change of plans to ace up your sleeve, and then change
Right.
of plans, and then you could do Chewie, get one of those two back. Like it's gonna be wild. I do like that.
Interesting. Yeah. A lot of layers. A lot of layers.
Yeah, a lot
Wrinkly
of
brain.
right. His new 1 pip is called Corlena Spike. It's just to Lando Calrissian. Probably butchered the name of that. At the start of Lando Calrissian's next activation, he may choose up to one enemy unit within 2 and an LOS. If he does, he rolls 2 red attack dice and resolve the effects shown below for each matching result. If it was a blank, the chosen unit gains 2 immobilized tokens.
Oh,
If it was a hit or a surge, the chosen unit gains one immobilized token. If it was a crit, Lando Calrissian gains 2 immobilized tokens. Um, and then you could also divulge this. Lando Calrissian gains infiltrate and incognito this game.
Oh, wow.
That's huge.
is that a
Yeah.
must play or it just goes back in your hand?
No, it just goes back into your hand. So you
That's
can
nice.
show that he gets infiltrate, and he could just sit on a POI and not be shot at because of incognito and take it off when he wants to.
Doesn't incognito come off if you're scoring?
You could choose. So in this version of Legion, when you have incognito and you're on a POI, at the start of your activation, you could choose at any time to lose incognito. It's got to be at the start of it. If
Gotcha.
if don't if not if you still have incognito, you don't count for the POI.
Interesting. But you
Yeah.
can goad out people to chase after you. Be like, oh, he's just going to be over here capping stuff or whatever. And then you play your card that lets you move the next
Mhm.
round to be like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm moving further away or whatever. There's some plays that can be made.
Yeah.
Lando's interesting piece.
He seems fun. He seems like a lot of fun to play.
Seems a lot better than his old self.
Yeah. So, but all right, boys. That's all the changes we got. Now, I'm gonna start with you, Jose. Give me your final letter score because this is the completion of Legion. This is what we've been waiting for the completion of this game. How do you feel, man? Like, what's going through your head?
This is not the complete version of Legion. They did not give us points like they said they were, and they did say they were. They did mention points as a talking point. If there was ever a time you needed to swing with points, it was now. The player base is in shambles. Every post AMG makes is a roast fest. Um, at this point, based on player feedback, the way the players feel, which is what makes your money in the game. Um, and there was some cool stuff in here, but they're taking the power out of command cards. They're doing a bunch of stuff that I removing models. Like what's next? Like what everybody needs to be on high alert now because who knows what the next, November rolls around. Guess what? Oh, Rebels lose Boba Fett. Like nobody plays Boba Fett, but it's the fact that I bought a Boba Fett. Like that's now I can't use it. Tauntaun Luke's coming. Cool. So goodbye, Commander Luke. Like we don't. It's an uncertain thing to have in a miniatures game. And so for me, because of that, I mean, they just keep sliding downhill. I gave them a C last time. The only reason I'm not giving them an F is because I'm waiting for November for the rest of the game. November comes around and they miss. It's an F. And I meant to say this earlier, but like I'm not there yet. I've went from loving Legion to disliking Legion to being bored with Legion to now getting back into Legion. And it's scary, dude, because thinking about it since yesterday, having time to sleep on it, like I'm getting to that point where I might just be one of those players that's like, damn, I guess the game's not for me anymore. Um, it's come to the point where it's not even like I'm gonna be honest, like I have a planetary qualifier for Star Wars Unlimited on May 3rd. Okay. Stroke of luck, let's say I win, get an invite to Las Vegas for their grand tournament. Well, guess what happens then? I'm not going to LVO and I'm gonna not care two shits about it. Because I'd rather go there for a game that I'm having fun with, that I'm enjoying, than, do go to something I'm not even sold on anymore. I'm on the verge of falling off.
I don't
Right
know,
now, the only
Jose. You said you were having fun though with
the
the new one. Like, you tell me
the
you didn't have fun at the last event, throwing all your dice and surprising people.
no no, and that's no that's once again that's though I'm getting into. It's getting to the point where it's just the fun being had is with the people I play with. It's you guys. And that's great. Like even at the worst of times that I felt with Legion, I could always be like, I fucking hate this game. But guess what? Me and Roman are gonna throw dice, and both of our red dice are gonna suck, and we're gonna be like, "How the hell did this happen?" But right now, it's just the camaraderie part that's keeping me involved. AMG is really, really losing me, and it's scary to say that because you guys know I have bought in 5 armies. I paint religiously. I buy. You just heard me say I was about to buy range troopers, and then oh, they went 10 points. Fuck that. I am invested in this game monetarily. I probably have thousands of dollars tied up in Legion. And it's wild that having thousands of dollars tied up in Legion, and I'm like, I might get on that player route where it's like, it's about time for me to just walk out and just leave this as a casualist of casual games on the back burner. I don't know. I until November pops around, it's a D, and it's crazy because they're just slowly losing my faith in them as a company in charge of a game that I really wholeheartedly love. It's Star Wars, man. That's my honest take from the heart.
All right, Roman. You gave it a C. So what do you give it now?
So as an Empire player, it's a straight up F. It doesn't pass with me, you know. But no, like on the grand scheme of things, with the information we have now, with my confidence in them making smart decisions, is probably at a D plus. Like they can make it passable for me. Again, I'm looking at it from a few different point of views, right? As a player, it's hard for me to actually throw a judgment out there because I'm not playing as much as I was before. Not through lack of wanting. I keep wanting to play. I'm sure if I grind it out, I can learn some units that when we get that November drop and Empire gets the rebound, it'll have served me well. But on the facet of one being a store that wants to sell stuff, I just don't have any faith in them coming out with stuff that's not just cool models, right? Like again, the way that they're releasing the new starters, pushing them back, and making it to where one of them is just gonna be dead on arrival for the most part. People are gonna be buying it because it looks cool, right? The Empire stuff. It's rough, man. It's rough on that sense. As a community builder, I have to stay optimistic, and I am optimistic. Again, even Kyle with his hesitancy, he's like, I'll probably still buy the cool. He's going for Republic, so again, he's in a good, he's going down a good vein of
He
like,
made the right choice.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And again, there's still always good, there's still so many players that are interested in getting in, especially with the new stuff around the corner. So, as a community builder, it's fine. It's at a C, right? I guess as for going down different subjects, I got a variety of grades I'm giving it out. Because yeah, as a community builder, there's still a lot of people that want to come in and play. It's really going to come down to, like you said, the camaraderie. I'd rather play a boring game with people that I have fun with and make it fun than an optimal game. There's so many games out there. And then here's the thing too. I know Jose's all up on SWU, but FFG has more of a track record than AMG of just dropping games, just
I
being
know.
like, and we're done. So that's why I'm like, I try not to give it so much of like, I don't think Legion's going anywhere. It's going to be around for at least another year and a half to 2 years. People are saying that it's going to die. I mean, eventually all games die unless it's GW, right? And even that, who knows? I don't think it's going to die. People have been saying it's going to die for better part of 3 years now. I remember even before Commander
The
Boba came out,
transition.
yeah, exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I hope they learn. It's just my faith in them doing a good job. It's not there, right? Not with Legion at least. They don't know how to work on this car. They don't know this engine. They don't know the parts that people want. I hope they take it to heart and to mind. I hope that they feel the frustration that people have and actually think about it. Communication at this point, when everything's so uneasy, matters more than anything. Um, the state of Legion, again, I haven't been playing, so it's hard to judge on that end of it. But as a whole, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's just, again, it sucks for guys that are like Rob, right? Who only have the one faction, and it sucks because that's how I am with 40K. I play Tau, and every 10 years I'll have 1 year of it's good. So you just have to have that second army. And it just sucks to have to force people to do that, right? To be like, I want to play this, but this sucks. And it's not even like, oh, the units I want to play aren't good. It's like, no, my faction sucks. And that's just a reality. And it's hard. It does deal a concise blow on Empire players. You just got to weather the storm. We've dealt with this again 3 years ago. It sucked. It gets better. There's ups and downs in the roller coaster. If you want stability, just play clones, maybe droids. Like that's just it sucks to say stuff like that. Again, as a community builder, I want people to play things that they like. I want them to have fun. I think the new system is fun, especially for newer players. I think we have the perfect community locally that can make it fun for people in general. We've gotten more new players in the last year than we have in the last 3 years, like again, and everybody that's coming in is awesome, dude. All the guys that come up from Bakersfield, from Visalia, we appreciate Dallin coming up. He's such a cool player to be around, really fun, really good attitude. I
Brad.
know, yeah, Brad. Oh, dude, I love it when Brad comes down. He's such a cool guy. I wish he was able to make it more. Same thing with the NorCal guys, all the I feel bad because I see their jerseys all the time. I'm like, that's such a
The
cool
Roll
name.
Better Gaming.
Roll
Roll
better
Better
dice.
Dice. Yes. I'm
Scott and
like, I,
Justin.
I, I like the name. I'm like, damn, that's so cool. And again, we have guys coming up from what was it, Santa Clara, Santa Ana? Where I
Oh
feel
yeah, the guy, I forget his
Santa
name.
Monica, Santa Monica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, I listened to your guys' podcast, and I was like, I want to meet these guys. I'm like,
I saw him on because he told me about the place he plays at. It was the damn, I'm really bad with memory on names, but I saw
I'm the same way.
the shop that he told me he plays at. It's like a geeky or something teas or whatever. Like it's like I think it's like a cafe and a game store. And I saw them post something and he was there. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, he's having fun. Like, he's playing the game that he likes. And again, I think we're in a good spot. When we have the other new guy from the NorCal too. Elijah, was it Elijah?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, I
I
think you're
think
right.
so. Yeah, playing really cool Orange Rebels. I always like Orange. I always like seeing stuff like that. I think
with
now,
the dishes.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That man had balls. I'm gonna sit this
Mhm.
right here. Let's see what happens.
No, I think we're in a good spot. We just gotta, again, it just sucks that we have to weather the storm. We have to put up some weird half-thought plans, and I don't know, man. Again, the confidence for them to pull it out, it's not. I don't have it, but I hope they do. Right? Like I always hope that they do better than they did before. I guess overall, it's gonna average out to a a C minus. Like it's so close to just being not passable right now. I think the
Mhm.
community aspect brings it up a little bit more than anything. Again, I like
Yeah.
having fun with my guys. I like seeing everybody come in. We've had such good turnouts for the events, and I think that's just what's going to keep it going for us locally. Again, Kyle, we were talking earlier, and he made a good point that I always say, where it's like Star Wars is awesome, but the fans make it not fun. And I think that's just where you were having right now with AMG is again lack of communication. People are venting their frustration, and Star Wars fans aren't the most understanding. That's just the reality.
I
And
said that earlier.
you're adding board gamers too, like 40K, any other game, it's always the sky is falling, the end is nigh. Like it's just that's how it always is. And now you're adding that layer of Star Wars, and yeah, I don't know, man. They need more communication. They need to listen to the fans, and they need to think a little bit more and put a little bit more effort into making the system work. It's not gonna be I don't know what they want it to be, but if they want to sell stuff, which they could, like if they make the range troopers a little bit better, we'll sell more range troopers and they make more money. And the fans are happier, the players are happier. If they want to make units better and to sell, they can do it. They just got to figure out how to make it work and trying to retrofit their game system into this and their engine into this card's not working. So they need to reformat the way they think of this game. That's just the reality of it. I don't think the game, like I said, I feel like sound like a broken record. I don't think the game's going anywhere. Focus on your community building. You're in this together. If you want to leave, I mean, there's been more reasons to leave before this, so there's always gonna be people looking to bounce. That's just a reality. Like, and that's just what it is right now. Enjoy the people you have around you to play. Hope it gets better. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's just my motto in life in general. Is like
Yeah.
things can always be worse. Again, you can lose a bunch of your units overnight. That is scary and it sucks, dude. It really does. It really because I was working on Shadow Guard. I was working on some really cool stuff for modeling, and now that's all it is just for modeling. Nothing gets me to want to build and paint units more than playing them. That's the
It's
reality.
and it's so frustrating because I just literally bought because you guys know I proxy a lot. Bought some samurais to be my IRG, and I'm just like, well, I bought these guys for no reason.
They're gonna look
Now
cool on the
AMG is
shelf.
taking money from
Yeah,
my pocket.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, sons of bitches.
They took my job. No.
So I at Adepticon I gave AMG an A minus because I liked everything that they announced. I like everything that was coming.
There is cool stuff. There
Yeah,
is cool stuff. That's the
I'm
thing.
yeah, I'm excited for the customizable thing. I'm excited for what the direction they're going. But I am with the completion of the game that this is what we've been waiting for a year, is maybe less than a year, is the rest of the half. I was expecting more. And just like you guys had said, I was expecting a lot of point changes, specifically for Empire. I really feel like Empire is not getting a whole lot of love. Their identity is kind of suffering because there used to be just a main gun line with range, a lot of range four, and the game has become very mobile, and they're not getting mobile units, right?
Yeah.
Or at least they're not revamping some units to be more mobile. Um, and the removal of Palpatine, IRG, and Pathfinder is like the biggest devastation to me. And I get it; it might be LFL, but that breaks
Give
my
us
heart.
something else
Yes,
now. They shouldn't have
y-
taken them out and not giving you anything.
yes, and even then, like this is why I don't play TCG games on a super competitive level because when they start banning cards, it's like, oh, cool, I got this card, I paid for this card, this card was super cool. Now you just took it away from me. Like I've always hated that. That's why I never do that, and that's what you're kind of doing in this game now is taking away units that you've made. People now have to shelf them, and that's just a bad feeling altogether. So because of that reason, because we didn't get point changes, I'm gonna give them a C plus. And the reason why I'm giving them a C plus is because the plus is for Maul didn't get changed. Thank God.
That might. Did you see that? He almost said minus.
Well, no, because I gave it an A minus because they were gonna change them all. Now I gotta
It was
give them a
hopeful,
plus.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You're
Uh,
you're 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 going off of the dream, and then this is the reality.
exactly, exactly. So again, AMG, it's probably not your fault that you had to
Yeah,
remove IRG and
right.
Palpatine, but we needed something, and you are probably arguing for something. It's probably why we're getting Tarkin and all those other guys.
What they
But
should have done is been like, you're losing this. Here's the stats for these new guys.
yeah, sure,
Here's the cards for the new guys. Use them now. Then,
yeah,
like that's what it should have been. And again, I try to be positive in general again because I'm trying to community build and stuff. So just because I'm critical of the game and the state doesn't mean I don't like it, doesn't mean I don't enjoy it, doesn't mean I don't think it's a good game.
Mhm.
It's just frustration, especially as a mainly Empire player. Daniel has all my clone stuff.
And you're absolutely right, Roman. Like, I'm loving the direction they're going. The game is a lot funner now.
I
It's
like the
just,
idea. The car
yeah,
looks cool, but
yeah,
this MCP Shatterpoint engine doesn't work, dude.
yeah.
He threw a launchmower engine in my
The
Corvette.
MCP rims aren't
Yeah.
aren't sticking for me.
It's
I'm like,
just,
bro, spinners work on MCP, not on here. You ain't
I,
Daisy no one over here.
I don't know how hard they fought to not get Palpatine removed, but I would have fought
You know
tooth and
what though?
nail.
There
I would,
there probably was no fight. It was probably legit this way. It's like, hey, these are the things you got to take out this and they were like, really, we can't do anything. Nope, this is it. Like that's again, like I told you how it went with that comic cover. Like they were just
Mhm.
legit, like no tongue, not even an argument. They're like, oh, okay, all right, because we want to work with them, and that's
Sure.
probably the reality too. Is like, that it's crazy because at any point, Asmodee, if Disney chooses so, or LFL can be like, you guys don't get the license anymore. It happened in the past before Asmodee or FFG had it. It was Wizards of the Coast, who Wizards of the Coast does D&D and MTG. You don't think they would have wanted to have kept that license?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's layers to it that we don't understand. There's conversations that we're not privy to. It is what it is. Um, it's just frustrating being a player of these factions that are impacted, right?
Mhm.
It's crazy where one of the biggest selling points for Legion for a lot of people is Empire and Rebels, right? The original stuff, the OG stuff. And I get, dude, I love Clone Wars too. I'd rather have more options than less. I'd
Yeah.
rather have more
Yeah.
options than less. You should have
It,
revealed Thrawn. They should have, if you're taking away Palpatine, be like, here's Thrawn's card.
I still even think they should have just said that you could still play them in Legion, just they're not going to sell any more Palpatines. You know what I mean?
Nah, I would have hated that actually.
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, because then you're just locking out people. You're just basically saying, here's this cool thing you can't have anymore. And it goes more to what you were talking about with the trading card stuff, where they're like, we're never going to print this card. Now it's going to be stupid expensive. Now it's going to be
That's
privy
sure.
to a few.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
Cus
right.
my
Yeah.
custom painted Palpatine will be on eBay for two
Yeah, because then
grand.
they'd have to
Just
open it
letting
up
you
to
know
proxies.
now.
If they do stuff like that, they'd have to open it up to proxies, which they're not going to because they want to sell models, right?
Right.
Especially
Right.
at like legit events. And again, like it's just, I get it, man. Like it sucks. It does. It's a crappy situation. So when you take something away, be like, I got to take this away here. We got to take the ball away, but here's your own, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
we got to give their ball back. They want it back. Here's your own. Here's something else
Yeah.
in place of it to play with in the meantime. They should have done that. They should have given us something amazing. I just feel like they're so focused on Clone Wars because I mean, even when you look at Shatterpoint, the first run was all Clone Wars era stuff.
Mhm.
I get it. It's yeah, dude. It just sucks to be a Rebellion era fan right now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm still
But
hopeful
yeah,
again.
I'm hopeful too. Again, I just didn't expect what they gave us. Like it seemed like they were just this whole scenario was here's the bad news, guys. To complete the
Yeah.
game, here's the bad news. Like we got to take these out, we got to remove these. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm still hopeful, and we're building a good community. Like still trying to get. We'll see if AMG lets us get VetFest and GT, but hopefully we could build it big enough to do
Maybe in a
GT.
year, yeah. Again,
Yeah.
we're gonna get MCP there. If we can get
Mhm.
somebody to do something for Shatterpoint Friday,
Yeah.
that's already three of them. We
Yeah, that
can
would
set
be.
the precedent. We
Mhm.
can set the precedent that we have um
The three game
uh
systems.
Yeah.
yeah, that they're being shown off, that they're being, representation, right?
I actually would love that because then I could do Shadowpoint Friday and then Legion Saturday. Um, yeah, that'd be fun.
It
So,
would, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Talk about Vet Fest, sign up. It'll be fun. We're gonna have some fun stuff coming out. I should be getting a good amount of kits for the league stuff. I'll probably get stuff from that out as well for the Vet Fest unless they come out with a new one because it does say number one. Maybe if they do them quarterly, that'd be pretty sweet.
mhm.
But yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff. May 2nd, I think, is when those guys come in, so I'll be showing those off. I don't know if
Heck
those are
yeah.
gonna be the ones that have the little trading card style boosters in there or not, but
I don't
I've
think
been
so.
talking num.
I think it's
Yeah,
the
has the
promo
plastic
Aqua.
card.
Yeah, the promo Aqua Sleepers Riot
Those are for the
and
end of the year, right? They said
yeah,
the other ones.
the
Quarter
other ones.
four.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I could be wrong. Yeah, you'll know when you get them.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
we'll see.
yeah.
So, what do you guys? All right. So now that we're all done being all bummed out about, what do you hope to see then? Like for the later this year, what is something that you definitely were like, this would change my mind, and something realistic, right? Like,
Mm. Go ahead, Jose. You go first. I know it's
I
gonna get.
just if they dropped Gungans like November Gungans, like
All is
I
forgiven.
all is forgiven. And then if they show off, so once they show the they do the
The
Hondo
reveal.
scene, but it's like Gungans, and then instead of stopping there, they keep panning over, and it's Liam Neeson, like hey,
Dude, if we got
here's
Qui-Gon, that'd be
Qui-Gon,
dope.
Oh, Qui-Gon would be
all's
sick.
forgiven, but no, realistically, I want every and once again, Roman's gonna make his Bernie Sanders comment. I want everything in the game to be good. I want everything in the game to be playable. And I don't even mean meta. I just mean playable. I play all five factions. I love playing all my factions.
Well, it's like I
I'm the
talked
guy.
earlier, right? You want to like, I want to at least be able to take it, and maybe I'll have a bad time because it's not performing well, but I want to have the opportunity to be like, here's my unit that I want.
Yeah, and so for me, I want Empire to get the love it deserves because here's the thing. At the end of their broadcast, they were like talking about sleepers, talking about aquas, talking about how they were looking at the last two competitive statistics. It's like cool. You could pull up the statistics for Empire for the last 2.5 fucking years, and you're gonna sit here and tell me that they did not deserve points. I don't even care if nothing else got points. If Empire just got points, I think we need to see Rebels are good. They don't need as much help as Empire. I feel like Empire's so iconic. Vader,
Dude, people will
Storms,
buy stormtroopers just to
they
have them. Do you not want to sell kits, right? Like,
yes, like
give us a reason. Like, I
give
was
me
ready. I talked to everyone like, I'll just buy 3 core sets. I'll put all
dude,
my old
right?
storms in my display case at the shop, and I'll just have a whole new plastic
Dude,
army. But now, probably
now
not.
no, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I'm just
sell the
saying
stuff. Give me a
just
reason.
give November 7th AMG just put everything else on the back burner and rework, relook at, retool, and repoints Empire. If Empire's, there has to come a point where being a fan of Empire is not enough to because here's the thing. When they're looking at overall statistics, they're always going to see Empire as the most taken because
Because
of the
it's
fan
cool.
base.
Yeah.
If Empire was at like Shadow Collective level where it's like 8%, I bet you the gears would get moving then.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying give Empire the love they deserve, the love that they earned, the love that the fans have for it. If you right the ship with Empire, that's a good enough starting point for me to be like, cool, here you go. Because right
Yeah.
now it's the Empire players that are hurting the most.
Yeah. So the three things I want to see. I want to see Qui-Gon. I want to see Padawan Obi-Wan and Savage Press for Shadow Collective.
I
I
just
do.
I don't see that by November 7th because they would have shown it off, right? Like the bikes
Oh,
and all that
you
stuff.
think about so what are you
Yeah.
By
in
the
terms of what you're talking
7th.
about? The seventh?
Yeah, by the last drop of this year. Well, what can they do to be like, all right, you're like Jose said, you're
Well, they might because we
steering.
still got mini Strav coming up, so they
Yeah,
may.
maybe,
But for
yeah,
November
Well,
7th,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
Honestly,
to right the ship.
I think it's just a points adjustment, right? Like I really do feel like Empire needs some love. Um, just rebalance some things. Like okay. The truth is Gar. They're so up Gar. They love Gar. Like they need to rebalance
And you
some things
can
in
and
Gar.
you can, no, you can leave Gar at that, make everything else in one way or another
Sure.
as good as
Yes.
it. I'd
Yeah.
rather have
Bring it
that.
up. Yes, I
Yeah,
agree. Bring everything else to Gar level standards. Cause like
don't upset the Gar players. Don't make the Gar players feel as crappy
yes, I
as
agree.
everyone else.
You
Make
know what?
everybody else feel as happy as the Gar players.
What I would really want is Empire and Rebel to have a keyword like Clone Wars do,
Yeah,
right? Like the
yeah, something
droid
to their
trooper.
identity. Yeah.
Yeah, give Empire and
Because
Rebels that.
before the argument was like, well, they're gunliney, this and that, but that was the old game. Like,
Yeah.
what? How do they mesh? What gives them their identity in this new era of POIs and mobility? Right. I think you're right. Mobility is a big deal.
what about making hold the line Empire's keyword? All the units get hold the line.
That's melee only, though,
That
right?
surges ups and downs when you're on a POI.
Maybe. So, we'll see. But that's what I think will come. What about you, Roman?
Um, I think they're doing a good job with the community aspect of the kits, right? Supporting more of that. I'd like to see more of that. Make them so FFG used to before they stopped carrying. They used to do quarterly kits. So every 3 months we get a new kit, and it wasn't anything major. You don't have to do these major kits where you have like 10 promos or whatever. There was like, if I remember correctly, there was like anywhere from 1 to 2 unit cards and 1 to 2 upgrades, and they were double sided if I remember correctly too. Do you remember when I would give those out?
Oh yeah, those are
Do
cool.
those quarterly,
I
right?
still have
Maybe.
those.
Yeah, and they're cool. Yeah. So stuff like that, I think if they did more of that would be good in the right direction for community support. I think they need to definitely fix Empire, not just as an Empire player, but as somebody who wants people to have fun with the faction. I want them when they play Empire to feel like, oh, I am the Empire. I
Yeah.
am doing this. I am oppressive.
I am a
'Cause
space Nazi.
yeah, basically, yeah. Whereas, with the rebels, I want them to feel like we're the good guys. We're doing good. We're going out here. We're getting blown up, but we're still doing the job. Because it feels like that when you're the clones. Like it feels like, yeah, I'm out, going out here. We're working together. We're doing all this stuff. I want players to feel good. And if they're gonna make it to the point where it's like, whoa, it's just competitive's too hard, then you need to make two different rule sets. You need to make your casual stuff where you can play whatever you had before, make a very loosey goosey whatever, and then have like a competitive, more bare bones, more chess like, which is gonna suck, but it'll be easier to balance when they're mono whatever, right? For competitive, this is what they take. Like they need to figure something out. Points just doesn't feel like it's enough most of the time unless they make stuff dirt cheap, which I don't know, man. It's just points are just a hard thing. I think they need to rethink the way that it works. I think the easiest thing to do would be, I mean, besides the battle force, would be like you said, faction identity, some type of keyword for these unit types, right? Like Imperial Trooper. If an Imperial Trooper
Well,
has,
because no other faction has hold the line, right? Right now it's just Empire.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
think so.
then
Yeah, yeah.
so then Empire struggles with surges most of the time. So if you give Empire hold the line as their faction identity, now the POI game changes for them because now they got surge to defense, surge to offense. They're locked
But
in.
that's only in melee, right? So you can get shot at until you get like
Is
they
it
can get
melee
shot.
only?
I'm pretty sure, right? Hold the line.
It's in melee, yeah, because in
Yeah, it's only
melee,
melee.
Oh,
when you're
okay.
That's
engaged,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, then
yeah.
make it better for Empire. Make it their keyword and make it overall.
Something, right? Yeah. And not just Empire, Rebels too. Like Rebellion era needs some type of love where you can't just keep banking on the same units over and over. They can right the ship. It's just gonna take a lot, right? Like it's so off course right now. We're nowhere near land at the moment. There's
Yeah.
nowhere to just stop and just be like, all right, cool, we're in a good spot. Because I like the mechanics. I mean, even before they changed it, what was I saying? Cumulative victory points. I like that. Um, they're making it more engaging, right? That was a problem we had before, where it was like people, I'm like, I'm winning the beginning of the game. I'm gonna sit back and just win. And you're gonna have to get really lucky to stop me from winning. So I like that they changed that. That was a good move on their part. They were in a good direction, and then something, some wind blew them off course really bad with this.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Well, boys, I think I held you guys up long enough. Um, thank you guys for joining me. I always appreciate you guys coming on, especially you, Rome. I know you hard to get on, so you taking
I
a little
know.
time
I
away.
try.
No, I love it. I appreciate it whenever you do jump on. And those for you that are still listening, thank you. It's definitely been a long podcast, so let us know what you think in the comments about everything that's changed. Do you feel like the game is now complete? We would love to hear it, your opinions on it. So until next time, guys. See ya.
This is fine.